in the Grizzlies' den. It is the Pittsburgh Stingers and San Jose Grizzlies. It is our presentation of the Continental Indoor Soccer League Game of the Week on Prime. From the San Jose Arena, it is the Pittsburgh Stingers and San Jose Grizzlies, our Continental Indoor Soccer League Game of the Week on Prime. Hello, everybody. I'm Dave Johnson, and indeed, we have found our way to San Jose, and this week, filling in for Desmond Armstrong, Dan Rusanowski. And Dan, as we take a look at the Continental Indoor Soccer League standings, we see why tonight is a very important game for both clubs, the Pittsburgh Stingers and the San Jose Grizzlies. The San Jose Grizzlies, they got to sneak in and get a playoff spot. Top 4 teams in the division make the playoffs.
Well, it's great for first-year teams to be in the playoff hunt, Dave, and that's what both of these clubs are. Pittsburgh in 3rd place, San Jose in 5th place. They need a victory against this team tonight, and they're without their best player, Preki, who's been one of the top players, of course, all year.
Okay, we look at the Eastern Division of the Continental Indoor Soccer League. You see Pittsburgh has done pretty well. They've been pretty consistent, and right now with the 8-8 mark in the Eastern Division of the Continental Indoor Soccer League. All right, now let's take a look at some of the key players you need to be watching for tonight, and we'll start with the visiting Pittsburgh Stingers, and you have to start with Kia.
You have to start with Kia. He's one of the top offensive threats in the league, along with Drago and several other players. This guy knows how to put the ball into the net. He's a great ball handler, and he's an exciting player to watch. On the other side of things, Mikhail Izatov, a newcomer to the CISL, is really an exciting person to watch away from the ball, creating chances for Kia to shoot and making things exciting for the Stingers.
The San Jose Grizzlies, they need to create some offense, and Bruce Broughton should do some of that.
Broughton needs to step it up because Preki's gone, and that's Bob McNabb, the coach's biggest concern. Kevin Hundled on the back line is going to try to try to go from defense to offense and make things a little bit easier in the transition game for the Grizzlies.
All right, let's talk about the goalkeepers for tonight's contest. Doug Petras has had a solid season for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it's tough to go from outdoor to indoor, and Doug Petras in his first year doing that has done a great job for Pittsburgh. He's played every game. How about San Jose, though? Dan Madsen, coming out of Santa Clara University, has never played an indoor game in his life, and he's got to have the jitters because of an injury to the San Jose goalkeeper. He's on. All
right, nothing like making your first professional start. It should be a big one tonight for Dan Madsen and the San Jose Grizzlies. We're coming back with the starting lineups of Pittsburgh Stingers and San Jose Grizzlies, our CISL Game of the Week on Prime. The Continental Indoor Soccer League Game of the Week on Prime is brought to you by the new Volkswagen Jetta.
Come with crowbars as standard equipment. The new Volkswagen Jetta comes with an anti-theft alarm system as standard equipment, too.
Have you ever created or invented a new product? Don't just let it sit there. Do something about it. You can start by calling the Inventors Helpline in Washington, D.C. at 800-227-7000. You'll receive free confidential forms and useful information describing the invention process. And when you call right now, you'll also receive a free brochure which tells you how to begin developing your new idea. So get the ball rolling. Pick up your phone right now and call for your free inventor's kit.
Call 800-227-7000.
Oh, so it's my phone.
I didn't say that.
Well, then what do you say?
You don't listen.
You never change.
The new Volkswagen Jetta has an adaptive automatic transmission. It senses the way you drive and adjusts to fit your personality.
Maybe you are.
Maybe I'm...
It's a shame we only make cars.
Prime plays the world. What is it that makes virtual reality?
Beautiful office panel systems are more affordable than ever. The Han Consensus panel system can be configured to your exact office needs, and Han Consensus is priced lower than other major systems. We've been furnishing the offices of Pittsburgh for over 30 years. I'm Jim Droney Jr. of Mount Lebanon Office Equipment Company. We've always featured brand names at low discount prices with an extensive showroom, a complete interior design department, and professional delivery service. Whether you're furnishing an entire building or a small office, call us toll-free at 1-800-924-7002.
Do you know what this symbol means? It means equal. Yet sometimes things that should be equal are not, like employment opportunities. Adelphia Cable would like you to know that our workforce is made up of people from all parts of our community, because that's the way it should be. And when companies have hiring policies that agree with this symbol, more folks are likely to agree with this one. Adelphia Cable, an equal opportunity employer.
Dave Johnson, Dan Rusanowski back in San Jose for our Continental Indoor Soccer League Game of the Week on Prime. You look at the head coach of the Pittsburgh Stingers, Paul Child. The head coach of the San Jose Grizzlies, the home team tonight, playing in a place known as the Shark Tank. For the summer, it's the Grizzly Den. There's Bob McNabb. Take a look at tonight's starting lineups. First for the Pittsburgh Stingers. Starting up front, Kia, along with Mikhail Izotov. Teddy Pryor in midfield, Bob Louie and Bobby Johnston at the back. Doug Petrus in goal. Nathan Gibson, Peter Cochran up front. Bruce Broughton's the midfielder. Kevin Hundelt and Rich Ryerson at the back. And making his first professional start, Dan Madsen for the San Jose Grizzlies. Brian Hall, Bobby Martinez, and Andre LeBlanc are your officials tonight for our Continental Indoor Soccer League Game of the Week on Prime. The Pittsburgh Stingers in the gold jerseys. The San Jose Grizzlies in the dark jerseys. So the dark jerseys, the home team, and right away, the San Jose Grizzlies get to come on the attack. And more importantly, Dan Madsen just got a touch on the ball, Dan Rusanowski, so that's important for him.
First time he's ever touched the ball in CISL play, just out of Santa Clara University, and he's got to have some butterflies.
That's right. They're making a first professional start because Mark Leonard is gone for the season with a strained knee, and he had done very well for the San Jose Grizzlies. Look at the Pittsburgh Stingers. They have to go back to their own defensive third. He ricochets it off the boards, and now his goalkeeper, Doug Petrus, sends it out. Bob Lilly now at midfield. Long ball forward to Mikhail Izotov, part of the Russian connection for the Pittsburgh Stingers. If you're new to Continental Indoor Soccer League action, 4 15-minute quarters. It's a little like hockey, substitution on the fly as we look at Mikhail Izotov, and it's lots of scoring. Average scores usually around 14 between two clubs.
Izotov is a very interesting player. He look at him here going into the corner, getting knocked around a bit there by the San Jose Grizzly player, and that's of course Kevin Hundelt, the defender, and he goes down and kind of shaken up. But as is the case in outdoor soccer, you see guys go down and try to milk it for all it's worth.
Kevin Hundelt, very talented player to be watching for tonight for the San Jose Grizzlies. The Pittsburgh Stingers again in the goal, the San Jose Grizzlies in the dark jerseys, and the Grizzlies retreat to their half of midfield. And they'll start to bring things up. Paul Lester with a touch on the ball for the Grizzlies. Long ball upfield, and Doug Petrus is able to handle it for the Pittsburgh Stingers. We are just underway, 13:44 left here in the first quarter of play.
Petrus has played well coming out of college. I mean, it's really tough to go into indoor soccer from outdoor, and he's just shown he knows how to play the angles in this game, and it looks like he knows how to use the boards a little, too.
San Jose Grizzlies come up with it. Craig Hampton with a touch of the ball. Now the Grizzlies look to move forward. Again, Paul Lester on the ball for the Grizzlies. Some nice moves. Lester goes along the wing. Doug Petrus out once again. Goalkeepers will have to wander in indoor soccer. Alberto Cruz thigh traps it down. He'll put it back to his goalkeeper, Dan Madsen. So as you see, goalkeepers are very actively involved also in the offense.
And of course, when you drop your ball back to your goalkeeper, it's just like outdoor. You can't touch it with your hands if it's passed back to you unless it's off your head.
Peter Cochran puts it across the penalty arch, and Doug Petrus is right there to scoop it up. The penalty arch, the arch you see on your screen, is where the goalkeeper is able to wander. That is his domain where he can use his hands. Just underway on our Continental Indoor Soccer League Game of the Week on Prime, the Pittsburgh Stingers and San Jose Grizzlies. Now, the Pittsburgh Stingers, a very good road team, Dan Rusanowski.
Best in the CISL at 6-2, and a lot of that's due to the individual creativity of players like Kia.
Getting a shot off, Peter Smith for the Pittsburgh Stingers. I'll get it out. Peter Smith for the Pittsburgh Stingers.
And that's a 3 times fast.
And I couldn't. It'll be a kick-in coming up for the Pittsburgh Stingers. We look at Chris Kelly, rather. Had a brother, Danny Kelly, that played in the CISL. Stingers quickly come on the attack. Trying to work the angles, it looks like, against the rookie goalkeeper. Get him a little bit shaken up by the boards. Peter Cochran on the ball for the San Jose Grizzlies. He puts it back to a very steady defender, Randy Prescott. Long ball up the field, and now here come the San Jose Grizzlies on the attack. Craig Hampton on the ball. Hampton takes it into the corner, uses his body well. The Pittsburgh Stingers wanted a handball, didn't get the call, and Doug Petrus out with the distribution. First quarter action here. Again, both these clubs expansion teams, but both, especially the Pittsburgh Stingers, hopeful to be around playoff time. Again, the CISL 2 7-team divisions. San Jose Grizzlies steady on defense. Pittsburgh Stingers stay with it. Stingers maintain the attack. This is Teddy Pryor across the penalty arch. So Zabnik with the follow-up shot. Now the Stingers continue to work it. And into the seats it goes. It'll be a goal kick coming up for Dan Madsen. So the Stingers doing a good job there, Dan, of working it around, but they just couldn't find the shot they wanted.
Well, working it around the perimeter, but not getting into the meaty part of the turf, and that's right, of course, in the goal crease area to try to get some opportunities on this young goalkeeper, Madsen. But in the first couple of minutes, it looked like it was even territorially, but the last 5 minutes or so, it's been, or 4 minutes or so, it's been all Pittsburgh.
Now, in the situation in San Jose, they had Preki, one of the more talented players in indoor soccer history, but he had to go back to his English club team, and now they're trying to find themselves again.
Well, Pittsburgh has twice as many people with indoor experience as does San Jose. I mean, Hundelt, Prescott, and Ryerson are really the only guys that have any major indoor experience. So that really is a factor.
All right, Doug Petrus, you look at the goalkeeper for the Pittsburgh Stingers. Petrus will start things for the Stingers. No score, 11 minutes left here in the first quarter of play. This is San Jose Earthquakes reunion night with the San Jose Grizzlies. 20 years ago, the Earthquakes started here in San Jose, and at that time, they were as hot as the San Jose Sharks are today.
And the hottest player on that team is coaching in Pittsburgh, Paul Child. Remember, he led the North American Soccer League in scoring one year.
That very year, 1974, in fact. So he is the head coach of the visiting Pittsburgh Stingers. Quickly, the Stingers come on the attack. Once again, they are in the gold. The San Jose Grizzlies in the dark jerseys. Rich Ryerson for the Grizzlies. Chest traps it, now sends it upfield. Nice clearance on his part, and maybe they'll even start a fast break. Is trying to get in there is Bernie Lillavoy. And Lillavoy is a guy who also has to step up in the absence of Preki. He has 23 points on the season.
And everybody's putting a lot of pressure on him, too. Bernie the Bolt is not exactly known to score as much without Preki in there. And he's going to be dependent on right now. Bob McNabb says it's players like him and it's players like Hundelt that have to step up.
All right, the Pittsburgh Stingers will have to step up here. They have a corner kick. Look at Dan Madsen again. You have to feel for him tonight, making his first professional start. It's always a memorable moment. And for Madsen there, it's loose in the penalty arch. The San Jose Grizzlies, Kevin Hundelt leads the charge as he clears it out. And you see Doug Petrus has to head it away. Now it's headed back. Petrus is still out where he cannot use his hands. A hopeful header on the part of Peter Cochran of the San Jose Grizzlies, but now the Stingers will control it. Again, you never really go to sleep when you're a goalkeeper in indoor soccer.
A lot of goals in this game, and it's a lot of it because of the real susceptibility of a lot of players defensively. There's a kind of a tendency in this game to play and forget about defense, but as both coaches have said to us before the game, Dave, that's probably the most important thing to get that boost defensive play.
Kelly Isitoff with a pretty good run, but he ran out of steam and also too many San Jose defenders. And now once again, this is Kenny Pryor, midfielder for the Pittsburgh Stingers. He's trying to make the turn, and nicely cleared out by Nathan Gibson. Gibson is a guy they look for in offense, but there he was rock solid on defense.
Now, Bob McNabb believes in defense first and then offense second, but Nathan Gibson has been doing both the last 6 games. He's on a 6-game point-scoring streak, and he's slowly developing and adjusting to the indoor games.
Grizzlies looking to counterattack. Bruce Broughton sends it upfield for Alberto Cruz. And now it goes back to Peter Cochran, and the Grizzlies work it out. Ryerson upfield to Nathan Gibson. Gibson trying to make the turn. He's got 3 yellow shirts around him with the Pittsburgh Stingers. 9:05 left here in the first quarter. No score. This is your Continental Indoor Soccer League Game of the Week on Prime. Dave Johnson and Rusanowski going in for Desmond Armstrong. Unfortunately, Desmond's father is ill, and we wish Desmond's father all the best, and Desmond as well. The San Jose Grizzlies get back on defense. You cannot pass it to the goalkeeper. You can head it back to the goalkeeper, cannot pass it back. Now, Lillavoy with a run for the San Jose Grizzlies. Nice wall pass, but coming up with it is Doug Petrus for the Pittsburgh Stingers.
That was nicely executed by Bernie the Bolt as he tried to get around the defender, and he almost had an opportunity in front, but it was good, real anticipation by Petrus.
Bernie Lillavoy, they call him Bernie the Bolt, which was a nickname he's picked up for his play here with the San Jose Grizzlies. Torrey Fabiano tried to draw a foul for the Pittsburgh Stingers, and the Stingers in the gold. Peter Smith on the ball. Smith. Oleg Kolodavnik. Worked it around to the Stingers, and now Bernie the Bolt again, as they call it. Randy Prescott. And the San Jose Grizzlies will work it out in midfield. So, scoreless so far with 7:57 left here in the first quarter. That has to make Dan Madsen, the rookie goalkeeper, happy for the San Jose Grizzlies.
And relieved, too. He's never played a game in CISL before, and this is his first one ever, as obviously not only as a CISL player, Dave, but as a professional. And that's something that you have to get through. Your first game, and I'm sure he's breathing a little bit easier in the last couple of minutes.
Okay, 7:50 left here in the first quarter. No score between the San Jose Grizzlies and the Pittsburgh Stingers. We're coming back on Prime.
so long.
It's a party you won't want to miss. West Coast Video's Grand Slam Party in Caspi Village, August 7th from noon till 2. There's lots of free food, tons of fun, cartoon characters for the kids. And
Earthquake night as they remember the 1974 season when the earthquakes came to town and really made some noise and actually stayed here in this town for about 10 years and a very hot team. And the Grizzlies trying to capture the same fever.
A lot of guys from the Earthquake still live here. Laurie Calloway, coached here for a few years, is still here, several others, and they really enjoy the area. What's not to like?
And many of them here tonight will be honored at halftime. We get the Pittsburgh Stingers in gold. And right there, Chris Kelly with an opportunity, but Dan Madsen comes up with it. So the Stingers again in the gold jerseys, the San Jose Grizzlies in the dark jerseys. And if you look closely at one of the shoulders of the Grizzly players, they have a claw mark across the jersey. Kevin Hundelt, long ball upfield for Nathan Gibson. Chris Kelly on defense, Gibson the cross, and it rattles off the glass. And we should have a kick in coming up. Well, there's the claw mark right across. I like the design of that. I think that's trendy.
Well, I think it's something that the entire league has thought of from the very beginning. They wanted to have attractive presentations, both in their uniforms and in their merchandise. And you got to credit Ron Weinstein, the commissioner of the league, with basically the vision that he had in creating it.
Continental Indoor Soccer League in its second season. Rich Ryerson back with the San Jose Grizzlies. Again, 15-member teams. Seattle will begin playing next year. 14 active teams. Look at the shot so far. Pittsburgh has clearly had the advantage. San Jose trying to change that right now. Bruce Broughton on the ball. This is a guy who has to step up for San Jose. Nathan Gibson stays on it, but he's pressured right there at the red line. Gibson, some nice moves. Gibson comes in, the shot off the glass, and now the Stingers will clear.
That was a nice play between Gibson and Broughton on the wall pass, as you would call it in outdoor soccer. Give and go. Nice little play there.
Rich Ryerson has trouble with the referee. Remember, the referee is part of the field of play. That doesn't make the fans happier in San Jose. And now Pittsburgh quickly on the counterattack. The Stingers. McKelly Izatov, a shot, and Madsen comes up with the save.
Madsen's had two excellent saves, and there's a great out pass.
Ernie Lillebois the shot, and Petrus the foot save. So after a rather sluggish beginning offensively for both clubs, suddenly a little timeout. Both teams have the engines running.
It's funny, we haven't seen much of Kia yet as he handles the ball here.
Well, Kia, you just mentioned that. He's having to play defense right now as the San Jose Grizzlies have stepped up their offensive pressure. Paul Lester with a hopeful ball. Now the Pittsburgh Stingers will control as we take a look at Bobby Johnson. He's a rookie out of James Madison University and has had a terrific rookie year. 13 points for a defender.
You know, that's a lot, but of course you see that being the philosophy of a Paul Child to try to get everybody in the attacking mode, and that's the philosophy of the Pittsburgh Stingers. They're going to try and be as exciting as possible, and I think it's an overall philosophy that's going to work for them.
All right, the Grizzlies then is the carpet you're looking at, usually the Shark Tank, but tonight we're in San Jose, the Pittsburgh Stingers, San Jose Grizzlies. And
the Grizzly Den.
The Grizzly Den, I like that. Maybe that'll catch on, along with the claw mark across the jersey. Doug Petrus for the Pittsburgh Stingers. And this is going to cause some problems for Dan Madsen. Randy Prescott, good clearance on his part, the defender for the Grizzlies. Now Nathan Gibson, and well, he was looking down the wing, but not enough. And the Pittsburgh Stingers lucked out there. They have some nifty jerseys as well as we take a look at the Bumblebee effect. And the Stingers have great socks. They have the golden black sock.
That's Oleg Solodovnik of Pittsburgh, who scored the first goal in franchise history. And he's one of two Russians, the other being Mikhail Izatov, that are playing this season in Pittsburgh. And they've been popular players, offensively very skilled, but still learning the game.
Peter Smith comes roaming into the penalty arch for the Pittsburgh Stingers. Randy Prescott. Smith stays with it. This is hustle on his part. Now Bob Lilly goes down on the turf. The Grizzlies try to counterattack. I think the Grizzlies wanted a handball. They will not get it. 4:19 left here in the first quarter. No score. Pittsburgh Stingers on the ball. Solodovnik making a run. Chris Kelly puts it into the box. Solodovnik right there. It's loose. And it's cleared out by Bruce Broughton, luckily for San Jose fans.
So far, you got to be impressed with Madsen, the goalkeeper. He's faced 6 shots and stopped them all. And on the other side of the ledger, only 1 shot for San Jose.
Now, Petrus was out, and I think we're going to get a foul coming up here on Peter Cochran as he was jumping in. So it'll be a free kick coming up for the Pittsburgh Stingers as Cochran, well, no, the other way it goes. They say Petrus fouled Peter Cochran. So Cochran, let's take a look at what happened. Here comes Petrus.
And he's out of the area. He's in
who jumps into who?
Little
obstruction.
Little shoulder
must
check.
Be the call.
Dangerous play.
As Petrus got in Cochran's way. Randy Prescott. Now you look at Peter Cochran making the run. He's another product out of Santa Clara University. They have a few Broncos playing on this San Jose club. Of course, the goalkeeper we've talked a lot about tonight, Dan Madsen. Alberto Cruz now, a couple of jitterbug steps. Now back to Randy Prescott. He'll send it, tries to send it rather, into the penalty arch. And now the Stingers come charging out in force. Wes Seacrest leading the charge for the Stingers. And now the Grizzlies trying to get back on the attack. Instead, Pittsburgh handles the midfield play. Looking for Chris Kelly. Kelly, the shot. It's blocked. And the Grizzlies handle it in the middle of the penalty arch.
Madsen made a mistake there by moving with the ball instead of waiting for his defender to make the error, and I think that's something that the Stingers are going to try and capitalize on.
Again, we've talked a lot about Madsen just because the situation with the Grizzlies is a unique one. They are within striking distance of the playoffs at 6-8, but they're really a club that's still trying to find that identity. As we look at Bernie the Bolt, Bernie Lillevoix, and Lillevoix trying to get into the penalty arch. You can at Petrus, the outlet.
You know, by the way, I don't want fans to think that that Bob McNabb is totally unhappy with the fact that Madsen's in the goal, because he told me before the game today that he wasn't totally happy with the regular goalkeeper Mark Leonard's performance before he got injured.
Well, Madsen has a great opportunity to step up here, and Mikhail Izotov is fouled by that man, Ethan Gibson. Gibson, well, he's 5th in the league in fouls, so not only can he score, but he can get right in the middle of the fray if he has to as well.
And part of that's just developing and learning the game.
Izotov, the shot. Or maybe he just likes to foul. You never know. 2:35 left here in the first quarter of play. No score between the San Jose Grizzlies. Look at Kenny Pryor, the Pittsburgh Stingers. Bob Lilly on the ball for the Stingers. Again, the Stingers started out with the majority of play, and then after a timeout, the Grizzlies had a few good opportunities, but the Stingers so far, I think, have had the better of the fluid play, and they seem like a team that is more organized than San Jose.
Now, that's what Bob McNabb told us before the game. I think that the interesting thing about San Jose is they've never really had a set lineup for all of the season, and that's been a big factor in them trying to develop a style in their first season in the league.
Ethan Gibson sandwiched along the boards. A couple of gold jerseys. Again, Pittsburgh in the gold, San Jose in the dark. So look at Kia. We're looking for offense from him, but he's in the defensive third, also helping out on defense. 10-year veteran of indoor soccer. Into the corner it goes to Kelly. Chris Kelly, and they work it back out to Kia. Will Kia shoot? He puts it into the penalty arch. Loose again. The Grizzlies trying to clear. They are able to clear, but Pittsburgh will maintain the pressure.
Good combination coverage there by Ryerson and Louisville.
Kia now along the boards.
On your back! Turn, one on!
San Jose looks like they're going to be able to control this defensive third. This is Paul Lester. Lester off to the races. Loses a shoe. Uses his left foot. Off the glass it goes. Alberto Cruz looking for the follow-up. Now the other way. So Dominic out there is Madsen. Nice work on the part of Dan Madsen.
He's played well so far.
Definitely has played well as he came out for the sliding tackle. 54 seconds left here in the first quarter of play, and we may have a scoreless first quarter. San Jose Grizzlies now trying to work through midfield. Bernie Lillevoix pokes it off the boards. Lillevoix trying to get to the penalty arch. Bruce Broughton almost had a shot. And now the Pittsburgh Stingers will bring it out. Looking for Solodovnik. And it goes back to Dan Madsen. So Madsen, he should have a world of confidence, a rookie goalkeeper. He's come up with a couple of saves and made some smart plays. Lillevoix out to Bruce Broughton. The ricochet Broughton trying to get some space at the top of the penalty arch. The San Jose Grizzlies back to Randy Prescott. Lillevoix now again. Burning the bolts, loses his lightning, so to speak, and now the Stingers will sweep it away. Solodovnik on the run. He's got 6 seconds to do something. I'm not sure he's aware of that. And he's not going to have enough time to create what he wants to create. So, 15 minutes of indoor soccer in the books here in San Jose, and no score between the San Jose Grizzlies and Pittsburgh Stingers. We're coming back with the second quarter on Prime.
Why get only half the...
Dan Madsen, the rookie goalkeeper for the Grizzlies, is certainly equal to the task in that first 15 minutes.
Well, no one knew what to expect, Dave, because this was his first professional game. But this rookie out of Santa Clara University made a couple of big stops early. He defended his cage pretty well, and then came out and was aggressive a couple of times during the course of the first quarter, and that's something that helped him. Here's a good save right here. I mean, ball's in the corner, the quick shot by Izotov, and all he's doing right there is playing perfectly with his defenders and covering the angle of the goal, and that's all you can expect from an indoor goalkeeper.
Well, I know he feels a lot better now after the first 15 minutes and ready for the next 45 minutes at least of indoor soccer here in San Jose, and again, surprisingly, no score for either club.
Big story of this game, besides Madsen's good performance in the first quarter, is the fact that the Stingers have had better territorial control, better passing game overall, and kind of a cleaner style of game.
Well, you look at the stats, and what you just said certainly reflects in the statistics. Shots on goal, Pittsburgh with a convincing 7-2 advantage. Save-wise, there you see that San Jose, Dan Madsen's had to come up with 3 saves.
Look at the blocks for San Jose, 4. It's not surprising that players like Kevin Hundelt and Randy Prescott are near the top of the CISL in that statistic, because that's a big part of Bob McNabb's strategy, to get his better defensive players to get in the way to help the goalkeeper and try to counter. It's that second part of things, Dave, that hasn't been as successful for San Jose this year, and something they're still struggling with.
And the San Jose Grizzlies trying to snap a 2-game losing streak right now. Pittsburgh is playing their 3rd game in 5 days, and the Pittsburgh Stingers are coming off a victory, so they're trying to get going with a 2-game winning streak. Pittsburgh beat Portland, in fact, in overtime up in Portland earlier this week. The Pittsburgh Stingers are the gold jerseys, San Jose in the dark jerseys. And it goes back to Dan Madsen, who we've certainly done a lot of talking about tonight. And worthwhile. It's nice to see a rookie get a shot. And also, it's tough to come in at mid-season as well, not with the advantages of having played at all during the season. Nathan Gibson on the ball now for the San Jose Grizzlies, and Craig Hampton trying to make a run for the Grizzlies. But back there is Bobby Johnston. He uses the boards to ricochet it out, and now the Pittsburgh Stingers clear it out. But before that, we have a whistle. And I think we have a foul on the San Jose Grizzlies, so it'll be a free kick as Mikhail Izotov is introduced to the turf.
Alberto Cruz, another Santa Clara graduate, was the man who was guilty of that one. Let's take a look at it. It's over to the right of the goalkeeper, and a little bit up high there with the elbow. I'd say that's a foul.
Pittsburgh Stingers on the attack now, or at least try to come on the attack. Izotov, and once again he finds the turf, and here comes Alberto Cruz, so that's been a pretty good matchup so far tonight. Cruz backheels it to Izotov of Pittsburgh. Had the finesse, but not the player in back of him. We are in San Jose, California. We'll call it the Grizzly Den as opposed to the Shark Tank. Craig Hampton on the ball, puts a ball into the corner for Prescott, and coming up with it is Doug Petrus.
So far, Doug Petrus really hasn't been tested enough by San Jose, and that's probably because of great defensive play in front by guys like Johnston and also a couple of other real solid players. Fabiano has done a good job, too.
And, you know, we've not heard much from Kia tonight, and he is 4th in the CISL in scoring, so I think we expect more out of number 17 for the Pittsburgh Stingers. But right now, we see Rich Ryerson of the San Jose Grizzlies. Bernie Lillebois, he wanted Paul Lester to run on the wing, and a little miscommunication. Again, that's what we talked about with San Jose. Even though it's mid-season, their club still trying to work out the kinks.
Now they've got a couple of new players coming next week from Yugoslavia. Stan Stamenkovic, among others.
Indoor fans remember him. Stan Stamenkovic really dominated Major Indoor Soccer League in the 80s, along with a guy named Steve Jungle. Bernie Lillebois now for the Grizzlies. Bernie the Bolt, they call him. His game was certainly elevated when the San Jose Grizzlies had Preki, but Preki's now back playing First Division English soccer.
They need Lillebois to go.
Lillebois uses the glass, and right there, Dan Madsen. Now that was chest trap, rather Doug Petrus, and that was chest trap back to him. That's okay. Just cannot pass it back to the goalkeeper. Troy Fabiano. Fabiano on the ball. He fires, smacked off the glass, looking for the rebound, but the Stingers unable to come up with it. The Grizzlies clear. But it'll be a kick in Stingers.
You know, Dave, the interesting thing, we've been talking a lot about Santa Clara University on the Grizzlies. A lot of the local flavor going on with the San Jose team. Well, the same thing's true with Paul Child's Pittsburgh teams. We saw Paul leaning over the boards and having a chat with some of his players. 10 players from the greater Pittsburgh area having some connection locally are on this team.
And that's a nice thing about the Continental Indoor Soccer League. A lot of the local players able to play with their local team, and you can follow them through college and right into the professional ranks. Nathan Gibson heads it down, half volley, but Petrus had the angle covered. Pittsburgh now trying to get it out. Troy Fabiano for the Stingers. Kia trying to get it through midfield. Fabiano. Now we've got bodies bouncing. Grizzlies. Teddy Needling digging in there. Needling puts it across the penalty arch. Needling goes down for Pittsburgh, and the San Jose Grizzlies are able to control once again. 11:47 left here in the second quarter. This is your Continental Indoor Soccer League Game of the Week on Prime. Dave Johnson, Dan Rusanowski. And what I think they call the Silicon Valley.
This is it. Capital of it.
That's right. The epicenter, as it were.
They almost called this arena then.
They almost called the arena the epicenter.
A lot of people wanted it to.
But it's just the San Jose arena?
Absolutely. It's a great show palace for the entire South Bay, the Silicon Valley, and a great matter of pride for the city of San Jose. It gets its first major hockey team. The San Jose Sharks had a great year last year, and now in the summertime, the CISL's Grizzlies starting to make the mark.
You should know you're the voice of the San Jose Sharks, filling in for Desmond Armstrong, and Desmond's father ill, and we wish him all the best.
Desmond's a good man. I've talked to him a number of times. I know he's very close with his family. I hope everything's okay.
Kicking coming up now for the San Jose Grizzlies is Doug Petras. We talk about the Pittsburgh connection. He's a rookie out of Robert Morris College.
How about that program? I mean, from nowhere, all of a sudden, they built themselves into national prominence.
And right there, Petras, how about that shot? He was had to swat at it.
That's one of the reasons why Robert Morris has done well.
Kyle Izotov goes into the corner. Nice move. Izotov stays with a beautiful move. Silky moves. Right there's Dan Madsen to rob it from his feet.
Lucky if Izotov handles the ball a little bit better. It's by Madsen, but you got to be aggressive, and that's what Madsen has been so far.
Alberto Cruz for the Grizzlies. Bernie Lillebois. And Cruz went the wrong way, but we're going to have a foul coming up on the Pittsburgh Stingers. So a free kick just outside that penalty arch, and they've got to give him, he's looking at Bob Lilly getting ready to organize the wall. They've got to give him 15 feet, and that's a lot of space.
Good opportunity for the Grizzlies here. They haven't had many so far tonight.
Now look at the space they have to take that free kick. You see on the screen, they've got to get back 15 feet to the Pittsburgh Stingers defenders. The Grizzlies, Randy Prescott, and he cannot get the shot off as he is right away marked. And the Grizzly fans boo on that one, and rightly so. That was a missed opportunity on a free kick situation. Set plays.
Didn't strike the ball well enough, and it was off the mark.
Once again, the Grizzlies come through. Peter Cochran, and that was a rocket. The Doug Petras was able to divert it into the air. Now Bruce Broughton. Cochran, who sent that shot. Special delivery right to Doug Petras. That had some velocity on it.
That it did.
That's a three-line violation. There are three markings, three lines on the field, two red lines, and the yellow middle line. And you cannot pass it over those three lines, so we wouldn't just have a tennis match going on. So it'll be a free kick for the Pittsburgh Stingers.
Got to keep those passes low so somebody gets a piece of it.
Running across there was Bob Lilly, but he could not turn and fire it into the back of the net. So the Stingers unable to come up there, and a kick in will now come up for the Pittsburgh Stingers. Again in the gold jerseys, San Jose in the dark. We look at Kenny Pryor running off.
Pryor's had a strong game. You know, Bobby Johnston, we haven't mentioned his name much, but right in front of the goalkeeper, he has been outstanding so far in this game. He's really defended well.
Heinz Pack now on the carpet for the first time for the Pittsburgh Stingers. He puts it back to Doug Petras. 9:44 left in this game, and all this game needs right now is a goal from either team. I think to really get things going. Doug Petras will wander out. San Jose content to almost pack it in beyond the red line. Chipped into the corner. Dan Madsen is out, and he is woefully out. He's on the carpet now. The Stingers with Kyle Izotov, and he is tripped, and that'll be a penalty kick coming up.
Had to do it, no doubt about it, with Madsen down. I mean, Izotov had him at his mercy. It's the second time that Izotov has hesitated. And, you know, we talked a little bit before the game started about how these players coming from outdoors still need to adjust. And here's a good example. I mean, Izotov has the goalkeeper down. All he's got to do is lift it up in the air. You do have a defender there, but I think that ball's in the net. And I think he hesitated because of the size of the goal. You know, of course, indoor soccer goal's much smaller than outdoor, and Izotov still adjusting.
So the penalty on Peter Cochran, who stepped in there. So this will be a shootout situation as the foul occurred in the penalty arch area. Tripping the call on Cochran.
And guess who's taking the shot?
Kia, that we talked about needing to, for Pittsburgh, he needed to get into the offense, and now he has a chance to do that. It's mano-a-mano, one-on-one with the goalkeeper. From the red line. The red line is 50 feet out. The goalkeeper, Dan Madsen, and the San Jose Grizzly crowd try to get behind Dan Madsen as Kia gets ready to step over the ball.
He's got 23 goals this year, number 4 in CISL play.
Trying to make it goal number 24. Kia takes a step, and he slots it in. It's in the net. A goal for the Pittsburgh Stingers, and they go on top 1-0 with 9:20 left in the second quarter.
Nicely executed. All he tried to do was wait for the opportunity to go to the upper left corner of Dan Madsen's reach, and Madsen went down looking for the play down low, and it went up high. So Kia showing exactly what he's all about. Take a look at this. He just taps it up on the right foot. No doubt about the fact that he's going to take it right-footed because he saw the opening all the way. And A learning experience for the young goalkeeper Dan Madsen in his first professional game.
Now, this is tough, and especially when he may not be familiar with some of the tendencies of some of the players, and certainly Kia, he doesn't give Madsen much of an opportunity.
Did you see Madsen there just hesitate just a little bit? That's what makes Kia a great goal scorer, is he's able to sense the goalkeeper doing that, to force him to do that. Result, 1-0 Pittsburgh.
Madsen clears it out. We should also point about the skill of Kia. He had a very fine line, as Madsen did come out. What you're supposed to do on the shootout as a goalkeeper is make yourself look as big as possible for the offensive player. And Madsen came out. He's used the hulking shoulders, but Kia was able to slot it just above the right shoulder.
Now, Dave, at halftime, we're going to talk to Bob McNabb, the head coach of the San Jose Grizzlies. And one of the things I want to talk to him about for sure is his estimation of the performance of young Dan Madsen in goal. I mean, his team is down 1-0. McNabb, a stern-looking guy, as we see here. Very, very serious-minded coach with his players. But he's got to be happy so far, even though his team's down by 1.
Nathan Gibson to Paul Lester. Lester still on the ball. The Pittsburgh Stingers defense collapses. Nathan Gibson puts it around the boards, and the Stingers able to clear it out of the penalty arch. Kevin Hundell gets right in the fray, and now the Grizzlies trying to equalize. They trail 1-0 with 8:34 left here in the first half. Oleg Solodavnik on the ball, part of the Russian connection for the Pittsburgh Stingers.
Say that 3 times fast.
Now that's a tough one, almost as bad as Peter Smith and the Pittsburgh Stingers. Hansen is able to handle the chip by Heinz Hack, a hopeful shot. But you never know when you're going to catch the goalkeeper out of position.
That's what makes this game so great, Dave. I mean, it's so fast-paced. There's so many goals. You get down by a couple of goals, and it doesn't matter. You can come back very quickly. I mean, I saw the Monterrey La Raza come back and beat San Jose after being down 4-1 here in this building a few weeks ago.
Bruce Broughton almost put it home for the San Jose Grizzlies, and now the Pittsburgh Stingers, well, Rich Ryerson does a nice job to get it away from Chris Kelly. Stingers maintain the attack. The Grizzlies under control in their defensive third as Craig Hampton is chased around. And once again, the pressure. Bruce Broughton, he's got to get it back to goalkeeper Madsen. Now to Broughton. The Stingers stay on the pressure. The Stingers again in the gold jersey. San Jose in the dark. Pittsburgh leads 1-0. 7.5 minutes left here in the first half of play. We're at the San Jose Arena in downtown San Jose. Bobby Johnston on the ball. Johnston fires. It's blocked. Johnston will now put it back to Bob Lilly. Lilly for Kia. Kia now in the penalty arch, looking to make the turn. Kia runs into Randy Prescott. Now Bernie Lillevoix. And we have a whistle. Foul. Coming up on the Pittsburgh Stingers. Look at Bernie Lillevoix. They call him Bernie the Bolt. Look at what Bernie is complaining about.
Bernie didn't like what happened there. You see Lilly kicking the ball into the penalty area. A little pushing, a little shoving. Somebody's got his neck held onto. That's Kia doing all the work for Pittsburgh. And Bernie Lillevoix had his hand in the air saying, why don't you call that? Get something going here. And that's what he was upset about.
Randy Prescott with the free kick now for the San Jose Grizzlies. 7:06 left here in the first half of play. Prescott and Madsen. For Lillevoix, the header, and it's over the glass. And it'll be a kick-in coming up for the Pittsburgh, I should say a throw-in for the Pittsburgh Stingers. No goal kicks in CISL indoor soccer. Rather, Pittsburgh Stingers lead the San Jose Grizzlies 1-0. We're back with the CISL Game of the Week on Prime.
Time, it seems, has assured attention.
Right now in the CISL's Western Division, we look at Dan Madsen, the goalkeeper, who's done a pretty good job in his maiden performance, but clearly Pittsburgh is a team that is used to handling low-scoring games. I think part of that is because they are so strong on defense. I'll mark this down on your calendar. Next week, our next game on the Continental Indoor Soccer League Game of the Week on Prime. Next week, we're in Houston, the Sacramento Knights and the Houston Hotshots Sunday, August 7th. But make sure you check your local listings for the date and time in your area.
Mirko Castillo, fine player for the Houston team. It's at, 18 goals so far to date.
He has done well, one of the leading forces for the Houston Hotshots. The San Jose Grizzlies in the dark, Pittsburgh in the gold, and Paul Lester gets a shot off, ricochet off the glass. Kevin Hundell running onto it. Randy Prescott will chip it into the air. The Pittsburgh Stingers are able to clear it out. Peter Cochran heads back to the Grizzly defensive third. Madsen. Now the Grizzlies are going to have to try to work it through midfield. Kevin Hundell on the ball. Hundelt, a good two-way player for the Grizzlies. Lillavois again going for the header, but Petrus is there to snare it in midair.
This one-on-one challenge there. Lillavois had the right idea, but Petrus had a better one.
The Stingers have some ideas of their own, and running onto it was Peter Smith, but he couldn't get the foot on it when he needed it, and now San Jose has a counterattack. Kevin Hundelt leads the charge. He has Nathan Gibson. Slots it for Gibson, but coming back on defense, Mikhail Izatov. Kevin Hundelt now. Hundelt. Ricochet. And the Stingers under pressure. Kia now clears it away.
Trevor Kelly and Pryor coming back there. Good anticipation and a good idea again by the Grizzlies, but it seems like they just can't quite make the play offensively. Right now, 11-6, the shots on goal in favor of the Stingers. San Jose with some opportunities in the second quarter, but they just haven't converted.
Bruce Broughton for the Grizzlies, and once again, San Jose keeps the pressure on as Saladovnik clears it for Pittsburgh. Randy Prescott, Nathan Gibson. Petrus comes out to meet him and clears. Peter Cochran stays with it. Now, Pittsburgh. Solid marking. Randy Prescott for the San Jose Grizzlies. Alberto Cruz. Cruz is denied by Saladovnik. Oleg Saladovnik playing some strong defenses. Once again, now San Jose is forced to retreat to their half of midfield and rework things. 5:02 left here in the first half of play. It's Pittsburgh 1. San Jose nothing. A Kia shootout goal, the difference. Nathan Gibson is marked by Troy Fabiano. Craig Hampton along the glass. Petrus can't handle it. The follow by Gibson. It smacks off the glass. Alberto Cruz the half volley. And Pittsburgh is able to clear. We got a kick-in coming up for San Jose.
That was close. All you have to do is strike the ball properly. And there's a guy, Gibson, who's still adjusting you indoor soccer. You know they use a number 4 ball instead of the number 5 FIFA ball. Maybe if that's a number 5, he's going to be more used to handling it. But he's still just trying.
Bruce Broughton had a half volley opportunity. Now Alberto Cruz and San Jose on the prowl here at their home carpet, San Jose Arena. Rich Ryerson, nice sliding tackle to keep it alive, but instead Pittsburgh is able to counterattack. But Alberto Cruz comes up with it for the Grizzlies. Heinz Pack will now flag it down for Pittsburgh.
Alberto Cruz, a classic case of being in the right place at the right time.
4:06 left here in the first half.
He misses that one, and it's a 2-on-1.
Peter Smith. Saladovnik back to Peter Smith, the captain of the Pittsburgh Stingers. Chris Kelly along the boards. He's coming right into your limited. That's what you face along the boards in indoor soccer. Bruce Broughton clears it out. Bernie Lillavois for the San Jose Grizzlies. Brings it back for Craig Hampton. Again, Pittsburgh. Why they've been able to shut out the Grizzlies so far. Very disciplined on defense. Bob Lilly's on Lillavois. Lillavois gets a shot off the header. Petrus grabs it from midair.
Nice play by Lillavois on one knee in the corner after the first shot. He got a piece of it with the head.
Now coming out is Dan Madsen. Good control on his part. He sends it upfield.
Madsen gaining confidence as this game has gone on.
Bobby Johnston at the back for the Pittsburgh Stingers. 10 left here in the first half of play. Kia for the Stingers. Kenny Pryor.
Come on, Benny, go behind it! Behind it, Benny!
Bobby Johnston looking upfield, and Cochran steps in front. Rich Ryerson, nice dummy move on his part. Bernie Lillavois to Cochran. Now Cochran will go one-on-one. Gets the shot off, and Petrus is right there with the rebound.
Low-scoring game so far, Dave, but Pittsburgh's used to that. They've had a couple of games this year, one most notably with Carolina earlier in the season, where they were tied 1-1 at the half. So they're pretty comfortable with this position.
San Jose Grizzlies in the dark jerseys. Pittsburgh in the gold, and here come the Grizzlies once again. They're trying to equalize. Nathan Gibson running through there was Peter Cochran, but Cochran couldn't get the shot off. Cochran now. Kevin Hundelt. Nathan Gibson back to Hundelt, the save on the part of Doug Petrus.
Best scoring chance for San Jose so far in this game, and Petrus coming up big. And the guy they wanted too, Dave, Hundelt shooting the ball.
But Petrus came up with it. 1:58 left in the first half of play, and the Pittsburgh Stingers lead the San Jose Grizzlies 1-0. Randy Prescott ahead to Nathan Gibson. Gibson for the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies working so hard to equalize as Craig Hampton sends it about 20 rows deep. So still 1-0 as you look at Craig Hampton. This Grizzlies club 6-8 on the season, tied for 5th in the Continental Indoor Soccer League's Western Division. Pittsburgh Stingers 3rd in the Eastern Division with an 8-8 mark. The Stingers continue a West Coast road trip. This is their 3rd game in 5 days. Grizzlies now working hard to dig through midfield. Bruce Broughton, the chest trap, now the turn. That's Ryerson working upfield. Rich Ryerson in the arch. He's taken down. The whistle was first. The ball ended up in the back of the net, but we should have a shootout coming up now for the San Jose Grizzlies as the fans react. The ball was put in the back of the net after play and stop. But a shootout situation coming up for the Grizzlies, so this does not happen often where you have one shootout in a game. Now we're about to have our second. You look at Ryerson. Kia just takes him down. So the San Jose Grizzlies will have a chance to equalize here with 1:08 left here in the first half. Bernie Lillebois will take the shootout as Rich Ryerson, the player who's taken down in the penalty arch. Kia opened the scoring for the Pittsburgh Stingers with a shootout goal to make it 1-0. So Bernie Lillebois, the pressure's on him to equalize. Doug Petrus, the goalkeeper for the Pittsburgh Stingers. Again, in the shootout situation, they start from 50 feet out the red line. As Kevin Hundell and Bernie Lillebois talk this over, there's Kia. And he actually goes into the penalty box. Now, if they score here on the shootout, Kia gets to come out. If not, there will be a power play situation for the San Jose Grizzlies for 2 minutes. Fans here get behind Bernie Lillebois. Lillebois takes the shot. It's off the crossbar. The ball is now live. Nathan Gibson into the net. It's in the net. Equalizes 6 seconds into the power play, basically. Once the shot has been taken, it is live. And they love it here at San Jose. For Gibson, that's his 14th goal of the year, and we have a 1-1 ball game. Bernie Lillebois started this on the shootout. Takes the shot off the crossbar, and watch Gibson come in there. Chest trap, bam. Takes it on the full volley. That's skill with a size 4 ball. This will be a great angle to look at it. The ricochet comes out. And right there, coming right at your screen, is Nathan Gibson. The assist by Bernie the Bolt Lillebois at 13:58. This is what Doug Petrus has to face. Again, Lillebois trying to chip it over. I should say shoot it over. It was not a chip. Off the crossbar, the foul up there by Nathan Gibson. So the 14th goal of the year for Nathan Gibson. And again, this is a guy they've talked about for San Jose. They being the San Jose Grizzlies coaching staff. They talked about the need for him to step up in the absence of Preki, who's gone back to England. Now, Preki had really stirred things up in his brief stay in the Continental Indoor Soccer League. In fact, was the leading scorer in the Continental Indoor Soccer League. Now, of course, we're talking about tonight's situation being a battle of 2 expansion teams, the Pittsburgh Stingers and the San Jose Grizzlies. And look at all the new teams in 1994, especially in the Eastern Division, the Carolina Vipers, the Detroit Neon, the Hotshots of Houston, and, of course, the Stingers we're looking at tonight, 3rd place in the Eastern Division, and the Warthogs of Washington also a team with playoff hopes. And in the Western Division, Anaheim is in 2nd place in the West, the Anaheim Splash. The Las Vegas Dust Devils, another team that really is looking strong for the playoffs. The Dust Devils right now in 4th place in the Western Division, and San Jose tied for 5th place. Again, if you're new to the Continental Indoor Soccer League, we're about at the halfway point of the season, so the games become very, very important down the stretch. This is the first meeting of the year between these 2 clubs. There will be a return meeting between San Jose and Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. So the Grizzlies will be in Pittsburgh on Saturday, August 6th here in the Pittsburgh area. Look at Bobby Johnston Johnston will go into the box for unsportsmanlike conduct. That is not a power play situation, not a man advantage situation for the San Jose Grizzlies. But for Johnston, he will have to stay out, and that will be the remainder of the first half because we only have 1 minute and 2 seconds left in this first half of play. Dan Rusanowski, my broadcast partner tonight, filling in for Desmond Armstrong, has gone turf side as Bernie Lillebois comes forward for the Grizzlies, and Doug Petras is able to collect it. Petras down, the long outlet. Once again, Kevin Hundelt steps in front. The Grizzlies starting to swarm. Back to Ryerson. They have a 3-on-1. In the box it goes. The follow by Ryerson, the save. Doug Petras. 31 seconds left. 1-1, and the Grizzlies try to go ahead. Bruce Broughton gets the shot off. Petras cannot collect it in the penalty yard. She tries to clear. Kevin Hundelt runs over the ball. Now Kia gets a head of steam with 20 seconds left. Grizzlies able to handle it at the red line. Both teams eager to get that last goal before halftime. Greg Hampton now looking forward to the Grizzlies. And with 6 seconds left, let's see if Pittsburgh will give it one last try. Mikhail Izotov sends a 100-foot shot that goes into the seats. So we have put 30 minutes of indoor soccer in the books. There you look at Paul Child. Used to play in this town with the San Jose Earthquakes in the glory days of the North American Soccer League. But now he's coach of the opposition, the enemy, the Pittsburgh Stingers. You look at the Stingers, and the San Jose Grizzlies head to the locker room at halftime in a very tightly contested 1-1 game. So far, the difference has been one shootout goal for Kia and the follow-up of a shootout attempt on the part of Nathan Gibson. So special team situations have been involved in both goals in tonight's contest. So we have a 1-1 game. That's a little bit not as much scoring as we typically see in an indoor soccer match. And you never know what the second 30 minutes of indoor soccer holds. Often these games can all of a sudden explode at any moment. But so far, the story has been both teams very disciplined on defense and not giving either team much space to work and come up with the offensive opportunities. San Jose Grizzlies and the Pittsburgh Stingers tied here at halftime, 1-1. We're coming back with more. It's our Continental Indoor Soccer League Game of the Week on Prime.
Blocks are an important part of this game, too, and you've noticed that that's been a big part of San Jose's arsenal. And isn't it a kind of an interesting thing that Arsenal is the club that Bob McNabb played for, our guest. And, you know, Bob believes in defense first and getting opportunities, and I think that that's something that the Grizzlies are going to try to counter better again in the second half.
And we should point out they've been pretty strong on defense as well, and as evidenced by the score, we have a 1-1 game. It's Pittsburgh and San Jose. We're coming back with more. Our Continental Indoor Soccer League Game of the Week on Prime.
A few of them are a little bit chubbier, lost a little bit more hair, but it's great to see them all again. We usually come back and play a game, but I think too many of them now are a little bit overweight and too old. But
well, you look pretty good. I think that so far you look like you could be one of your players.
I could really do that. I've been training a lot with the players, so obviously keeping in good shape, but would have liked to have played with the old guys again. There's still a lot of talent there. Even though they're older players, they have a lot of knowledge and skill.
Paul, how do you like coaching your first year?
Very good. I'm really enjoying it. It's frustrating sometimes because it's my first year and I want to get out there and do things for the guys, but we're working out, and I'm trying to get them to do the best they can without getting on there myself. So it's working good. I'm really enjoying it.
That's Paul Child, the head coach of the Pittsburgh Stingers. And now let's go up to Dave.
All right, thanks, Dan. Again, at halftime, it is 1-1. And some notes and news around the Continental Indoor Soccer League. How about the Detroit Neon? We're going to see them later in the season on our Game of the Week. Last 5 games have gone into overtime. Yes, they have a flair for the dramatic. And look out for scoring Gordon Hunyak. He tied the CISL season high with 4 goals in 1 game. That was on July 24th. All right, we're coming back with the second half of our CISL Game of the Week on Prime. Again, the Stingers and Grizzlies tied at 1. Come on back. The attack as Dan Madsen comes up with it. So second half is underway here at the San Jose Arena, and Dan Madsen puts it into the San Jose Grizzlies bench. So a kick-in coming up for the Pittsburgh Stingers. 1-1 the score, 14:46 left here in the third quarter of play, and this is San Jose Earthquake reunion night as Dan Rusanowski visited with Paul Child, the head coach of the Pittsburgh Stingers. He's back in his old stomping ground. Back 20 years ago, he led the North American Soccer League in scoring.
He was a great player. I mean, all he thought about was offense, it seemed, but he was also a good defensive type of an attackman, too. He knew how to make the defensive plays and put pressure on the defense.
And also one of the great players of all time in the world, Georgie Best, played here in San Jose in the late 70s and early 80s. So they saw some great soccer here in San Jose. It's a good soccer market.
They still got some great pubs from Best days. They're still in business here, I think.
I think at one time he had a pub here in the San Jose area called Bestie's, I believe it was.
Every morning at 7 o'clock during the English season, they have the games on, and just people, a lot of soccer fans here, and it's only going to help the CISL.
San Jose Grizzlies, the home team in this contest. As the Pittsburgh Stingers, goalkeeper Doug Petrus is wandering out in the midfield. So far, this tightly contested game as Peter Smith, the captain, comes onto the ball. Smith sends it upfield for Chris Kelly. Now the Grizzlies trying to get it out of their defensive third. The Stingers stay on the attack. We have a whistle, a foul, and Randy Prescott of San Jose. So a free kick as he fouled Chris Kelly. A free kick for the Pittsburgh Stingers. Heinz Pack stands over the ball. Back with a hard shot, trying to get into the penalty arch. Then 1-1 the game. Doug Petrus. For Wes Sechrist.
Haven't heard much from Sechrist.
No, this is only his second trip on the carpet tonight. Heinz Pack again. Puts it back to Chris Kelly. Oleg Saladovnik. Trying to get into Chris Kelly. Kelly again working in the corners. He's double teamed. He's got Saladovnik along the wing, but Kelly trying to get through, plow through Randy Prescott. Clears it out to the top of the penalty arch, but no one can get a shot. Now Prescott really has to be right there. Again, San Jose a bit at 6s and 7s. Oleg Saladovnik on the ball now for Pittsburgh. The ricochet off the board. Wes Sechrist looking for it. Instead, Craig Hampton turns and clears. So Pittsburgh coming out quick here, trying to get the lead on the home team, the San Jose Grizzlies. Again, one of the odd things about the expansion Pittsburgh Stingers, they are 6-2 on the road as part of their 8-8 mark.
It's the best in the league.
Hey, you do the math. It tells you they don't do too well at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh.
That's all right. They got some games coming up, including in August, early August, against the same San Jose Grizzlies team.
August 6th. That'll be a Saturday afternoon contest in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh again in the gold jerseys. Working hard. Kenny Pryor now on the ball. Izatov into Kia. Or rather, Bob Lilly. Now Kia with the ball. Izatov, the back heel, looking for Kia, and San Jose is able to come up on defense as Kevin Hundel intervened for the Grizzlies. 11:48 left, third quarter.
Pretty play by Izatov to try to execute with Kia, and he would have been in all alone if that was successful, but you got to credit Hundel.
Here comes Bruce Broughton, the save for Doug Petrus. Lillebois and Broughton circling the penalty arch, but Pittsburgh again will come out on defense. We look at Kenny Pryor leading the charges. He's got Kia on the left, Izatov on the right. Kia now. Silky moves, fires a shot. It almost went off the back of Izatov, perhaps. Cleared out of the penalty arch. Torres Fabiano had a shot on it for the Stingers. Fabiano stays with it. Now Kenny Pryor. Pryor out for it is Madsen. Right there is Kia, but Madsen is able to smother it.
Good goalkeeping is not always good skill. Sometimes it's good luck, and that was the case there with Madsen almost losing it with the best scorer on Pittsburgh at his doorstep.
Paul Lester now. He's a guy that has 8 goals in the season for San Jose as he tries to work upfield. Lester gets the shot up, get blocked in traffic. Bob Lilly on the ball now for the Pittsburgh Stingers. 10:37 left here in the third quarter. 1-1 is our score. Kyle Izatov for Kia. Kia is chased out of the defensive third by Alberto Cruz. Nice defense on the part of Cruz, and now Cruz trying to turn it into offense. Nice cross looking for Nathan Gibson. Saved by Doug Petrus on the shot by Craig Hampton. Hampton gets right in there.
Good creativity by Nathan Gibson a moment ago.
Gibson posting up. Now Rich Ryerson gets in there. Ryerson for the Grizzlies. 9:58 left, third quarter. Pittsburgh Stingers now on the counterattack. This is Kia. Got Chris Kelly cutting across the penalty arch. Fabiano, nice right-footed shot. The follow-up, ricochet over Kia's head. Peter Smith to Kia, left to the penalty arch. Kia fires, and Madsen comes up with the save. Now ahead to Bernie Lillevois. They call him Bernie the Bolt. Let's see if he bolts through into the net. Bernie Lillevois.
The Bolt. Excellent bolts of lightning up the left side of the floor as Madsen made the save and saw him coming. That's what you call good anticipation. And Petrus victimized on the play by a man who needs to step it up offensively, Bernie the Bolt Lillevois.
So Bernie gets his 17th goal of the year as he holds that number 4 CISL ball.
Let's take a look at this one. Here's Lillevois coming down the left side. Has Lilly totally beaten on the play. And again, he just waited, taking a page out of Kia's playbook for the goalkeeper to go down. He had the net to shoot at, and a nice little right-footed inside to the foot drive. It goes right into the net. Nice play.
Nice finishing on the part of Bernie Lillevois. That's the part that's tricky. You can make the great run, you can get open, but you got to put it in the back of the net.
And as you can see from that angle, it ricocheted off the post to tap back in, and does a nice carom as well. As you need to have those posts be your friend if you're the shooter, and it provides a lot of distress for the goalkeeper.
Speaking of distress, the San Jose Grizzlies and Peter Cochran trying to distress the Pittsburgh defense.
They already are. They're up 2-1.
So suddenly, despite early dominance on the part of the Pittsburgh Stingers, San Jose, and that's the way indoor soccer goes, has the lead. Paul Lester, the rebound, comes out to Doug Petrus. Petrus trying to get the quick distribution. Dan Madsen's out, and nice work on his part. Now the Grizzlies of San Jose and Kevin Hundelt will lead the charge. Hundelt, nice work along the boards. Ethan Gibson uses the boards. He was trying to get it back to Kevin Hundelt. Nice idea, just the execution not there. Paul Lester. Lester the shot. Another ricochet off the boards. And we have another shoeless player on the carpet. That was Alberto Cruz as the ball squibs into Doug Petrus's territory.
Probably part of Bob McNabb's coaching strategy.
Well, you lose the shoe and fake someone out. On the follow, Dan Madsen with a save on the shot by the Pittsburgh Stingers, Bobby Johnston. I'm sorry, McCallum Easetoff. The other way, San Jose comes on the attack. Grizzlies doing a nice job of winning the 50-50 ball. Randy Prescott. Cleared out of the penalty arch. Now Petrus, that's a difficult ball, and Petrus is able to come up with it. Pittsburgh now the counterattack, and Dan Madsen is there.
That was a mistake by Madsen. He was going the wrong way, and a nice little feed to the left. A good opportunity for Pittsburgh to score, but Kenny Pryor didn't put it on goal.
Kevin Hundelt on the ball with 7:36 left here in the third quarter. San Jose leads Pittsburgh 2-1. Bernie Lillevois, the guy on the ball, has scored the go-ahead goal. Craig Hampton, nice half volley. And Petrus is able to handle it on the carpet. And he's telling people to clear out, get upfield. Let's get back on offense. Bobby Johnston now for the Pittsburgh Stingers. For Mikhail Easetoff. Easetoff turned, looking for the upper corner. Beautiful.
That's only a real portent of things to come for Easetoff. Has great skill and good instincts on the turf. And we see Kia getting up, a little bit shaken up on the far side of the field.
Now this is at times a very physical game. Continental Indoor Soccer League soccer. You look at Mikhail Easetoff. Look at the turn, and
that's nice execution right there. Easetoff driving it. And here comes Kia coming over. And looks like a piece of a foot caught him. He's
all
okay
right.
though.
7:10 left here. The third quarter of play is the San Jose Grizzlies 2. The Stingers and Kia trailing. They only have 1. We're back with more on Continental Indoor Soccer League Game of the Week on Prime. Make sure you check your local listings for date and time.
Love the names in this league. The Houston Hotshots. Little alliteration there.
And if you've ever been in Houston in the summer, it's aptly named. Here in San Jose, the Grizzlies lead the Pittsburgh Stingers 2-1. Dave Johnson along with Dan Rusanowski. The Grizzlies in the dark jerseys, they have just gone ahead on a goal by Bruce Lillevois after trailing at 1.1-0. And actually, really, I don't want to say dominated, but earlier I think Pittsburgh had the better part of the play. Dominated would not be the right word, but
territorial edge.
Yeah, San Jose clearly now has stepped up and suddenly seems to have the offense going, whereas in the first half they, I think, would admit they struggled a bit on offense. And this is one of the reasons why they're doing well on offense. They're winning the 50-50 ball. Doug Petras comes out with the header, going with Paul Lester. Petras took it to the lower back.
That's smart. When you hit turf like that at the speed at which these guys are running at each other, and I'll tell you what, you're going to have to send the trainer. And for Pittsburgh, Scott Johnson, the trainer, is out there to attend to the goalkeeper.
Paul Lester gets called for the foul. The San Jose Grizzly, who is working hard to create the offense, is again, for the goalkeeper, you're really in what they call no man's land at this point. As you look at their coming in numbers, Nathan Gibson on the left, Lester on the right.
Petras is trying to just get a piece of the ball. He goes to head it, and he's hip checked basically to the turf by Lester. I'll tell you what, you hit that turf like that, that really hurts.
Actually took a pretty good elbow in the lower back as you look at it again. But I tell you, Paul Lester, that's that's no way to make a living either. He got crunched.
Well, Paul Lester will think about trying to do that again, as now we see Petras getting attended to by Scott Johnson.
6:57 left here in the third quarter of play, and the San Jose Grizzlies lead the Pittsburgh Stingers 2-1. And I'll tell you what, goalkeepers anyway, it's a very painful position, especially in indoor soccer, but the lower back is probably the worst place for a goalkeeper to get hit, because that's where they take so much of the punishment in terms of how they position themselves.
The other factor too, Dave, is if you take a look at the carpet in this building, and I'm sure fans as they're watching the play-by-play, over near the boards, it seems like it ripples a little bit, and of course it's turning up in the corner here at San Jose Arena. Right behind the trainer Scott Johnson, you can see it. And you know, you could slip, get a piece of your foot caught on that, and all of a sudden be injured very seriously. And they do a great job in getting things set up here and in other buildings. You're taking a look at that ripple right there. But they did have some problems in installing that today, and part of it was because they had a high school age tournament here. And you know something, try running on your living room rug, Dave, up and down at full speed a couple of times, and if you're Doug Petras, you're going to know the rug is going to ripple a little bit. When you hit it, it's going to hurt.
Look at Doug Petras, the season he's had, 6.32 goals against average, and that may seem high to some, but that's not so bad in indoor soccer when you have as many goals that occur in indoor soccer. Of course, the average scoring game in Continental Indoor Soccer League about 14 points per game. So we're a little below that tonight as we look at the
bare
necessities.
Grizzlies official cheerleaders do a great job in getting the crowd all pumped up for the game.
Part of the Grizzly Den here at the San Jose Arena, which is more famously known as the Shark Tank when the San Jose Sharks play in the winter.
They'll be back in October as usual, but right now it's time for indoor soccer, and the bare necessities just part of the entertainment package here. Milan Mandaric and his staff have done a great job in making it fun for the fans, and you notice a lot of new people trying out indoor soccer, previous outdoor fans that are here in San Jose, and they've been enjoying it.
Milan Mandaric, you point out, is the owner of the San Jose Grizzlies, and he actually owned the San Jose Earthquakes when they came here in 1974. So how about deja vu all over again for him?
I'm sure looking at Paul Child's physique these days, he probably wishes he could sign him for the Grizzlies right now, because he looked pretty good.
He does look good, and Child, though, coaching for the Pittsburgh Stingers. Pittsburgh is in gold, San Jose in dark. The Stingers try to come on the attack. They trailed this game 2-1 as we see Kia on the ball. He's fourth in the league in scoring. Kia trying to go into the corner. He's fouled. And a free kick coming up for the Pittsburgh Stingers.
Elbow hit the carpet right near the ripple in the corner there to the right side of Madsen. And if you're Paul Child, you're not happy about that. Kia going in there and really trying to make the nice move here in the corner on Lester. It seemed like in the situation he got hit with the hip again and made contact with the boards right where it rippled. You see that, Dave?
2-1 the score, 6:08 left here in the third quarter. San Jose now quickly coming back on the attack the other way.
Shots on goal right now, 19-16 in favor of San Jose. Remember, it was 6-1 or 7-2, something like that in favor of Pittsburgh in the early stages.
Ethan Gibson on the volley. He already has one goal tonight, showing his skill level as he takes it in midair, but cannot put it in the back of the net. Mikhail Izatov trying to get around. Rich Ryerson. Ryerson hands it and puts it forward to Bernie Lillebois. Lillebois off the boards, running onto it. It's a net! A goal. Kevin Hudell of the San Jose Grizzlies.
I think that one hit Kia on its way in, and he's shaken up inside the goal for the Pittsburgh Stingers, but Hundell to man the right place at the right time. Lillebois making a nice play along the boards, just trying to do what all indoor soccer players do. Utilize every part of the floor and of the boards to the best advantage of your teammates, and Lillebois with a great play.
Bernie Lillebois set that one up, and they came in numbers, did the San Jose Grizzlies. I think the pain you saw for Kia, he ended up on the metal post at the back of the goal. Look at Lillivoff. He's got room to work.
Seems like this San Jose team's like a diesel engine. They get better when they get warmed up, and oh, look at that. It goes off of Kia, just like I said before. And Hundelt, Johnny on the spot there, Kevin on the spot, you might say, right in front as we look at another angle. Went off the goalkeeper, and Kia knocked it into his own net.
5:32 left here in the third quarter. Now all of a sudden it's San Jose 3 and Pittsburgh 1. Bernie Lillivoff trying to get going again, but now Pittsburgh. Peter Smith coming forward. I think we're going to have a foul on Craig Hampton of San Jose. A little too much jersey tugging, and it'll be a free kick for the Stingers. Hampton gets in the way again, and now Bruce Broughton to Randy Prescott, and the Grizzlies, they lead 3-1. We'll see if this third game in 5 days for Pittsburgh starts to take the toll, because certainly in the second half, they have not as looked as crisp, the Pittsburgh Stingers, they did in the first half.
Definitely not. It's tough to play 3 games in 5 nights, as you mentioned, Dave.
Well, just as I say that, the Stingers quickly come back on the attack, but San Jose is organized in the back as Chris Kelly was unable to get the opportunity on. Troy Fabiano now at the back for Pittsburgh.
I've been impressed with Fabiano so far. He has a good touch, uses the outside of his foot particularly well, especially with offensive creativity.
Peter Cochran, Randy Prescott. He's going to crank and fire, and Petras has to get down on the carpet and swat it away. Chris Kelly trying to move forward. Alberto Cruz now. Bernie Lillivoff gets 1 foot on it. Now Alberto Cruz again in the corner. Along the boards. That's tough for Petras to handle. When it comes off the boards like that, it is spinning in all directions. And that is something a goalkeeper has to concentrate on. He can't be looking upfield too soon.
Well, he's got to hug the post like a hockey goaltender, and Petras did that perfectly there, holding his right hand out on the left side of his goal to block anything that bounced off the boards, and that's exactly what happened.
San Jose again in the dark jerseys. They lead this game 3-1. Hundelt, Lillivoff, and Gibson the scores. For the San Jose Grizzlies, Kia with the lone tally on a shootout. Peter Smith one-times it off the boards to the left of the goal.
Wow, what great execution that was. Didn't miss by much.
Peter Smith had a couple of good opportunities tonight. Not many shots, but I think both times he shot, he's had a good chance at goal. Bruce Broughton, Petras has to smother it.
Sometimes the simple things work best, and that almost skittered by.
Pittsburgh again trying to come through space, and Mikhail Izotov goes down. I think he was
issuing
looking for
a couple
penalty,
of epithets in his native tongue, I think, in the direction of the official.
Speaking of his native tongue, part of the Russian connection, Oleg Saladovnik comes up with it. Now Izotov goes down, and Randy Prescott puts the forearm in his back, and we'll have another free kick coming up for the Pittsburgh Stingers. Look at Randy Prescott.
Prescott's a tough customer for a little guy. He's not exactly huge. Let's take a look at it here as Izotov gets in position. And he receives the pass, and there's the little shot.
That's actually the knee to the back of the calf, I think, that gets Saladovnik. Izotov. And San Jose is able to clear it out. Alberto Cruz leads the charge. Saladovnik. Chris Kelly. Bob Lilly. And the Pittsburgh Stingers try to stay on the attack. San Jose. Peter Cochran's got room. They have a 2-on-1. Cochran over to Lillivoff behind him. Lillivoff now goes into the corner. He's got speed. Turns. Randy Prescott. Nice half volley. Peter Cochran. 3-1. The Grizzlies lead with 2:48 left here in the third quarter of play. In 4 quarters of indoor soccer in the Continental Indoor Soccer League. Impressed with the way the Grizzlies have come back. Pittsburgh, the Stingers, in the goal. Bob Lilly. Saladovnik looking for Izotov. Izotov gets free. He's got Peter Smith open. Smith fires a shot. San Jose now tries to clear.
It's played by Craig Hampton in front there.
Interesting, they're now playing, it looks like the two Russians on the same line, which they were not doing earlier for Pittsburgh. We're talking about Saladovnik and Izotov. Bobby Johnston ahead to Bob Lilly. Lilly off the glass. The follow-up is in the net. Chris Kelly. Chris Kelly puts it home. Coming at Peter Smith. I'm sorry, Peter Smith with the goal. And it's 3-2.
Peter Smith has had several opportunities in this game to convert, and this time he does it, and he does it beautifully by just spinning down low and getting a piece of it with the right foot. Here we take a look at it. The ball's in the right corner. There's the cross, and it pops out in front, and again, just getting a piece of it with the instep. Goalkeeper not ready. Madsen wasn't prepared for that shot. So the red light comes on. It's in the net. Look at that execution there. Just perfectly done by Peter Smith.
So Peter Smith, we talked about how he was doing such a good job of creating opportunities, and this time someone else did the creating, put it home.
That's one of the basic plays in soccer, being able to volley off the side of your foot at about that altitude. He did it beautifully.
San Jose Grizzlies still with a 1-goal lead, though, but Peter Smith puts the Stingers right back in this one with 1:30 left in the contest. Bernie Lillebois, in the third quarter, rather, rushing things a bit. Rich Ryerson for the Grizzlies. Alberto Cruz looking forward.
And just when the Grizzlies thought that they were in control of the game, now all of a sudden it's tied again.
Bernie Lillebois goes down, a whistle and a call against Bobby Johnston. The quick restart, Rich Ryerson, the shot, Petrus the save.
Nice idea by Lillebois to get it started quickly, but goalkeeper Petrus right there.
Chris Kelly running up the field. And we have a whistle and a foul. I believe a handball is the call on Chris Kelly, and he's rather upset at that.
Chris Kelly having a couple of words with the official. Less than a minute to go here, third quarter.
Ethan Gibson with the header. The Grizzlies, and we're going to jumping in the call against Paul Lester. Look at him, the San Jose Grizzlies. Doug Petrus looks upfield, so 3-2 the score. San Jose leading Pittsburgh. Kia. Stingers stay on the attack. Wes Seacrest. Johnston to Kia. Kia gets into the penalty arch. Chris Kelly runs over. Kia. Madsen the save. 15 seconds left. The Grizzlies handling the siege on the part of the Stingers. Finally, Ethan Gibson is going to chip it forward with 6 seconds left. And I think the Grizzlies may be able to get out of this quarter with the lead. They will.
Moral victory for the Grizzlies. They weren't expected to do much against this Pittsburgh Stinger team tonight with the absence of Preki, the team going 1-2 since then, and then their #1 goalkeeper being out for the entire season as a result of an injury just in their last game, Mark Leonard. And so far, Madsen, his replacement, has done well in goal, and Lillebois has been a bolt out there.
No question about it. The San Jose Grizzlies lead the Pittsburgh Stingers 3-2. We're coming back with the fourth quarter here on Prime. The Pittsburgh Stingers 3-2. Ground transportation provided by Dollar Rent-A-Car, featuring quality products of the Chrysler Corporation, like the Plymouth Acclaim. Dollar's right on the airport, right on the money. For reservations, call 1-800-800-4000. Fourth quarter in San Jose, and it's the Grizzlies on top of the Pittsburgh Stingers, 3-2. Thanks to a 2-goal splurge in the third quarter for the Grizzlies, and the Stingers were able to equal back on a goal by Peter Smith, but clearly most of the third quarter did belong to not the Pittsburgh Stingers, but the San Jose Grizzlies.
Now, but Peter Smith has had the last laugh a couple of times in this game with getting opportunities offensively, finally cashed in. And you know how it is in indoor soccer, Dave. One little break like that can result in the dam bursting and everything happening offensively for the team that executed it. So Pittsburgh is hoping that happens. Of course, Madsen in his first game, as we take a look at all the sweat, along with the goalkeeper for Pittsburgh, Doug Petrus, is probably thinking otherwise.
Now the Pittsburgh Stingers in the gold, San Jose in the dark jerseys, and Pittsburgh has to do the catching up here early. It's 14:46 left in the fourth quarter, and the San Jose Grizzlies lead 3-2. Alberto Cruz to Bruce Broughton as they work it from the back. Bernie Lillebois, he's got a goal tonight, and he's got speed. That's what really electrifies the San Jose offense, is when he gets in full speed. He is tough to stop.
You know, I wonder about how much of this game for the Grizzlies is basically been believing in themselves. I mean, you know, as they got into believing that they could do something against this team, against Kia, against all of the other players on this club, they've gotten better. They've executed better.
Good Troy Fabiano, and you may have been wondering what that gel was on his legs. That's something the players use because of the carpet burns. If If you've ever slid on AstroTurf, you know exactly
Hey,
just
Dave,
how that feels.
I'd have gel all over my body if I was playing out there.
Yeah, it'd be
it's got to burn.
Bloodied legs, so that is part of the uniform almost for most indoor soccer players. They more like the shin pads. You don't go to work without your shin pads in professional soccer and indoor soccer without the gel. Johnston now on the move for the Pittsburgh Stingers. Johnston fires, and Madsen has to get down and grab it. Bobby Johnston with a nice run through midfield. Now here comes Bernie Lillebois. He turns and puts it into the corner. Johnston is right there to chest trap it down for Pittsburgh. 3-2 the score. 13:51 left in the fourth quarter, and a foul called against San Jose's Bruce Broughton, so it'll be a free kick for the Stingers.
That's kind of an interesting juxtaposition there. Broughton trying to play it as if it were an outdoor game, and Johnston going into the corner and knowing that he can get a piece of it, kick it off the boards, and still control the ball. And guess who won? The guy who did the indoor thing.
Bruce Broughton. It's underneath and Gibson. He's open, fires a shot. Peters gets down the cross. Prescott, it's behind him, cannot turn on it. And now Pittsburgh. Ricochet off the boards, but we have a foul before that. And another free kick coming up as we look at Kevin Hundell, who's got a goal tonight for the San Jose Grizzlies. 35 blocks heading into tonight's contest, so he's a good two-way player, also 13 points.
He's a critical part of this team, one of only 3 guys on Bob McNabb's club that had indoor experience before this season.
Kia now for the Pittsburgh Stingers. Kia, nice shot just to the right of the goal. That was almost a copy of his shootout performance in which he did score. Just tuck it into the right corner of the net. Doug Peters is out to grab it. Again, the penalty arch you look at, the arch at each end of the field is where the goalkeepers can handle the ball with their hands. Peter Smith, or rather Bob Lilly on the ball now for the Pittsburgh Stingers. Chris Kelly battling in the corner in the gold jersey for the Stingers, but the Grizzlies come up with it. Rich Ryerson now for San Jose. He leads the charge. Bernie Lillebois coming up the wing. Lillebois back to Ryerson. Nice work. Ryerson fires it. Cochran now will trap it down. Using the glass, and the Stingers, led by Kenny Pryor, will come out. Heinz Pack now for Pittsburgh. In Pittsburgh in the gold, San Jose in the dark. 12:16 left, fourth quarter. Kia, 3-4 headers off the glass.
The magic of Kia.
Must have thought he was doing a soccer camp there. He does have some magic.
Outside of the foot there, that's a key element of soccer, indoor or outdoor.
Just not the hands. Fourth quarter of your Continental Indoor Soccer League Game of the Week on Prime. Nice work. Pryor the shot. Getting down for it is Madsen with the save. And he Pryor again, and he goes down, and we have a whistle and a foul. A free kick coming up here for Pittsburgh. Again, set plays are excellent scoring opportunities. That's why you have to stay with it. And quickly Kia on the restart. But San Jose will clear it out.
Paul Lester right there, and very quietly, he's had a pretty solid game for San Jose tonight, Dave.
Now, there was a 3-line violation there, Dan, for San Jose, but I think they did the right thing. Just get it out of the penalty arch and worry about the 3-line violation later.
You betcha.
Free kick, though, for Pittsburgh. The San Jose defensive third, Bob Lilly on the ball to Kia. It's in the net. Kia from Lilly. And we have a tie game.
Oh, man. Kia with a great position there. Just let the ball go with his right foot. And everybody thought that Lilly was going to try and shoot it. And I don't know why. Why wouldn't you look at Kia? But the screen set up in front of the goalkeeper. There was a little bit of space. And a guy like Kia knows how to execute. Let's take a look. A wall set up in front. There's Lilly's little pass. Kia right there. And notice the screen in front of Madsen. He didn't see the ball. And he takes a look at his defender as soon as he gets up. Here's another angle of it. He really didn't see that. He got screened by his own defender on the play, and Kia let things go.
You also see two Pittsburgh forwards behind the goalkeeper, Dan Madsen. So if Kia didn't put it in the net, chances are somebody
would have.
Now, that's the situation we just talked about. San Jose did the right thing just clearing it out, even though they yielded a 3-line violation. But the problem is with set plays, outdoor, indoor soccer, no matter what kind of soccer it is, so they are so dangerous because the offensive team has the big advantage. So we have a 3-3 tie game, 11:24 left here in the fourth quarter. The drama continues to build here at the San Jose Arena. San Jose Grizzlies, which seem to have the better player of the third quarter, now face a Pittsburgh Stingers team that is clearly rejuvenated. Ethan Gibson. Bruce Broughton, the Grizzlies working around. Pittsburgh tightening up a bit on defense.
And all of a sudden, San Jose a little more tentative than they were a few minutes ago.
This is, you mentioned it. Well, here we go with Kevin Hundelt to Randy Prescott. He fires a shot. It's not in the net. It went across the line. The ball has to go over the line. It did not. Prescott. This one's not in the net either. I don't think I've ever done that call once, much less twice in a game.
How about Bob McNabb looking on in utter disbelief on the San Jose bench?
Meantime, Pittsburgh, talking about utter disbelief, they're back on the attack, and Kevin Hundelt controls it. I was just about to say, this is Pittsburgh's kind of game. Nice, low-scoring game. You know, if they can make it a 4-3 contest, they'd like to get out of San Jose with that kind of victory. Coming off a win over Portland, Bernie Lillivois. Lillivois gets free, and the penalty yards, he goes down. No call, and that was the right call because he was out of control a bit and tried to... shall we say, campaign for the call, but referee not having anything. Come in! Chris Kelly in the corner. 9:40 left here in the San Jose Arena. The San Jose Grizzlies, Pittsburgh Stingers tied at 3. Peter Cochran. They're trying to counterattack. Kenny Pryor for the Stingers. Oleg Sodomnik. Now Pryor. Pryor turns, gets a shot off. Manson comes up with the save.
He just got that one, too. Sodomnik with a nice little counter to the far side.
So this guy Lillivois is fun to watch. Bernie Lillivois for the Grizzlies. And we have certainly seen tonight, Dan, why they call Bernie the Bolt.
Good acceleration, good lateral speed, too, important in this game.
Once he gets one step on him, it could be good night. Grant Schick into the guy. I think Doug Petras handled the ball outside of the box. He definitely did.
Yep.
Petras reached for that one to keep it off the foot of Grant Schick. Now, they're going to argue about that. I mean, you could actually be penalized for that situation, a 2-minute penalty, and I think he will be.
Well, Petras is saying that he didn't do it. And then when the referee told him he did do it, he's going to say he didn't mean to do it.
Now, there are some occasions where I've seen where goalkeepers are not penalized just because they will claim it was not intentional.
Take a look at the foot on the line. On the line.
But he's clearly, the ball is out.
The ball's out.
That's what counts.
He was trying to make a claim that the ball bounced inside the line off the boards, but clearly from that replay it didn't happen. Great chance for San Jose here. The Grizzlies with 8:54 left. Getting set up to the left of Petras, the goalkeeper for Pittsburgh.
Well, now they've got to get somebody in the penalty box. 3-3 the score. San Jose Grizzlies will have a free kick coming up. Teddy Needling is going to serve the penalty.
Paul Child taking his time sending a player over there to get things set up in front of his own goal.
A little gamesmanship. So now for the next 2 minutes, San Jose will have a man advantage. This is a power play.
San Jose doesn't get very many of those, the least in the CISL, but they've converted 10 of 20 chances this year on the power play.
It's a good ratio, 50%. Pittsburgh Stingers will have to do the penalty killing work. They are 64% in efficiency at the penalty killing, so that's not too bad either. Kevin Hundelt with the shot. He does have a rocket of a shot. Rich Ryerson the header, and he's going to get called for the foul. Pity the defenders on offense. They often get called for the fouls.
Rich Ryerson, one of 3 guys on the team that has experience. As we take a look at the penalty killing in the CISL, San Jose 3rd, Pittsburgh 4th, with 64.3% effectiveness, giving up 10 goals on the power play this year, the Stingers have.
So free kick for the San Jose Grizzlies, as Rich Ryerson does a little juggling of the ball.
There's a lot of that in this game. I mean, we saw Kia over in the corner giving a heading exhibition during the middle of the contest, and here as Ryerson gets ready to go,
we have a bit of a
struggles a bit.
I don't know what the controversy is about, but the penalty clock well, they gave an illegal substitution warning to Pittsburgh, but the penalty clock continues to tick down. And San Jose is going to point this out because the power play is going away, and they're not having the advantage of using it. The clock lost about 15 seconds.
That's what Bob McNabb is talking about now as he puts his right hand to his ear to wonder if the referee is listening to him, but...
Well, they say it shows 1:10 left on the penalty clock.
It should be more than that.
Yeah, because the whole time that they were arguing about the illegal, or not arguing, but discussing the illegal substitution thing, the penalty clock continued to run.
And it still does run. Less than a minute now on that penalty.
Well, it should run now, obviously, because play is back in play, but they lost about 15 seconds on that. 51 seconds left, and I'm not sure if anyone... We're dead level with the penalty clock, and I'm sitting here watching it tick down. 7:37 left in the game, 42 seconds left on the penalty clock. Hundell, Bernie Lillebois, Ethan Gibson right in the middle of the box for the Grizzlies. I think the Grizzlies got shortchanged on the penalty clock situation, but they can't worry about it now. They have to worry about getting a goal.
McNabb looking up at the clock right now to take a look and see how much time he's lost. Right now, 20 seconds left on that penalty to Pittsburgh.
Kevin Hundell puts it forward to Ryerson. Ryerson chips over to Prescott. Half volley, and that one's up to San Francisco with 10 seconds left on the power play. All right, 3-3 the score. The San Jose Grizzlies on the power play. 7:05 left in the fourth quarter. We're coming back with more on Prime. The Pittsburgh Stingers, San Jose Grizzlies tied at 3 with 7:05 left in the fourth quarter of play. Talk about chances. Watch Kevin Hundell. Gets it over to Randy Prescott in the net. No, right on the line.
Boy, it was close.
About as close as you can get. All right, that's one time. Randy Prescott says, all right, try this one on for size. Again, the same situation.
Comes around and blam, right off the post.
Now, you could do that 100 times in practice and never get it right once, much less twice in a game situation. Look at Bob McNabb, 10 seconds left on the power play situation for the Pittsburgh Stingers.
And he's not looking negatively at his own players for hitting the post twice. He's looking at the official scorekeeper because while they were talking about a free kick a few moments ago, the penalty clock for San Jose continued to tick down, and they just forgot to shut it off, and they're trying to get it fixed up now.
Well, I wonder if McNabb noticed that. Well, I hope he did for his sake, for the San Jose Grizzlies.
Seemed like he did. I mean, he was up on the bench and screaming.
Well, I saw a couple of the Grizzly players pointing up the clock. Only 2 seconds left of the power play, but to my knowledge, they've done nothing to change that time. And indeed, teams back at even strength is Bernie Lillebois with an effort that goes over the glass, and it will be a throw-in coming up for the Pittsburgh Stingers. Again, no goal kicks in Continental Indoor Soccer League action. They just want to keep the action going, so the goalkeeper just throws it in.
I think I'd like to take a look at that shot that hit the post. I think it might have been across the goal line.
No, I disagree with you on that. I must beg to differ. It's got to go completely over the goal line, and I think if we went slow-motion time-lapse photography, I would be correct.
Well, because of the Prime special effects, we'll get a look at that later.
That's right. As long as we don't have to use DNA testing for anything. 6:31 left in the fourth quarter. 3-3 the score between the San Jose Grizzlies and the Pittsburgh Stingers. And they wait for the retrieval of the balls. We look at Bobby Johnson, a rookie from James Madison, who's had a
strong game.
Strong game and a strong year.
Here we go. Let's take a look with the special effects from Prime as the ball coming to the goal line. Oh, I don't know.
No. It's got to be over the line. All the way over the line.
Wasn't quite there. It's close though.
So you concede the point then?
Yeah, I do concede it.
Thank you. Dave Johnson, Dan Rusadowski at San Jose, where we have a 3-3 ball game with 6:12 left. Again, teams now at even strength. Randy Prescott comes onto the ball for the Grizzlies. Bernie Lillebois. Out to Craig Hampton. Hampton waiting on the ball, and Kia intervenes. Now, if you're playing the game on paper, which we're not, you would tend to put the advantage to Pittsburgh in a tight game because of their experience. But again, the game's not played on paper.
And again, that's probably what San Jose had the most trouble with, was that paper belief going into this game, taking a look at both rosters and saying to themselves, hey, wait a minute, I don't think we can play with these guys. Then they realize as the game has gone on, they can be competitive, and that's why it's such a close contest.
Kenny Pryor right into the fray for the Pittsburgh Stingers. Nice ball. Looking for Bob Lilly running onto it. Now Chris Kelly in the corner. Kelly is sandwiched sandwiched along the boards. We have a stalemate as that size 4 ball starts to edge up the boards, and finally Rich Ryerson demonstratively just puts it into the air. Now Kia will put it back to his goalkeeper, Doug Petrus. Grant Schick will offer the pressure for San Jose. Petrus puts that one into the first couple of rows here at the San Jose Arena, which we've nicknamed the Grizzly Den tonight.
We talked a couple of times, Dave, tonight about how the size 4 ball affects players new to the indoor game. I wonder if the goaltenders have more trouble than their other players.
Well, it's an interesting point. Of course, during the World Cup, they talked about a juiced ball, the type of size 5 Adidas ball that was used during the World Cup, that was livelier. But certainly a size 4 ball is more lively. Peter Cochran on the attack, and that was lively enough for the Pittsburgh defense. With 2 lively attacks. Petrus now, the outlet, looking for Kia. It's headed down in traffic, and Bruce Broughton and the San Jose Grizzlies come up. And the Grizzlies in the dark jerseys. We have 4 minutes, 30 seconds left here in San Jose in regulation. Game tied at 3. Continental Indoor Soccer League Game of the Week on 5, offering the dramatic this evening. Kevin Hundell looking for the ball for San Jose, and now Pittsburgh on the counterattack. Mikhail Izatov gets it over to Solodovnik, and Solodovnik can't get the shot off. He's denied. Now San Jose, Nathan Gibson does a nice job of posting up well. He's one-on-one with Troy Fabiano. Gibson approaches the red line. Randy Prescott sends one. The ricochet looking for the follow-up. There's Prescott in the box. Gibson turns. It's blocked by Petrus. The ball by Alberto Cruz, and what a save by Doug Petrus.
He just got there, Dave, just barely in time. Alberto Cruz with a golden opportunity, and now Petrus again with another save.
Petrus is being peppered by the San Jose offense. And we're going to have a whistle, a foul coming up on Pittsburgh's Wes Seacrest as you look at Doug Petrus frantically trying to organize his defense for this free kick situation. Bruce Broughton with 3:28 left in regulation. This is Broughton, the cross into the penalty arch. Now Prescott running onto it, and the 50-50 ball goes to Pittsburgh. Dan Madsen, the goalkeeper for San Jose, clears it out, but it's going to be a kick-in now for Pittsburgh as he runs back to his territory. Again, the rookie playing his first professional game.
Want to take a look and see here as we get 3:12 to go in regulation. You got one sudden death overtime period of 10 minutes in length. If no winner after that, they have a player shootout. Each team gets 5 shots, and away we go.
5 players. It's much like what we saw in the World Cup, only it's a shootout and not the dreaded penalty kicks that they're being referred to around the world.
And no, we don't have to come back on another day.
No, they will not replay this game if it goes to a tie, which somehow will have a settlement, be it in overtime, be it in a shootout, or be it in regulation, because we still have 2:47 left in regulation. Dan Madsen's out again for San Jose, and boy, he's giving the fans a workout.
That he is, but he's also giving Bob McNabb a lot more confidence. The coach of the Grizzlies putting Madsen in for his first professional game ever in this contest, and as the game has gone along, Madsen has taken more charge in the crease and has put in a pretty good showing, I'd say, for CISL goaltender.
Again, Mark Leonard, the starting goalkeeper, lost for the season with a knee injury. Rich Ryerson now on the run for San Jose, looking for Grant Schick. Schick puts it into the box. Lillebois. Now Schick along the boards. But Grizzly fans, including the cheerleaders, the bare necessities, getting behind their team. Hundell uses nice work to get space, but Pittsburgh is able to clear. 2:16 left. Yes, the clock becomes very important. The San Jose Grizzlies looking for a dramatic finish to give the home fans something to think about. Pittsburgh trying to continue a road trip that so far has resulted in a 500 record. They're 1-1 on their West Coast swing. For the Pittsburgh Stingers. Kyle Izatov leaves it for Lilly. To Kia. Chris Kelly's open to the penalty arch. Kia can't get it to him, and now Bernie Lillebois again for the Grizzlies. 1:40 left in the contest. Alberto Cruz. Cruz into the corner. He goes Cruz, and Petrus stands him up. It's loose of the penalty arch. Tell you what, Dan, Petrus took that like a catcher guarding home plate.
How about Alberto Cruz with that burst of speed up the left side?
And speed will come in handy with time a factor. 1:18 left in the game. Look at the game clock in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. 3-3 the score. Battle of two expansion teams with playoff dreams. Lillebois off the boards, and Petrus is out there snaring. Now Petrus the outlet. Madsen has to come out. He cannot afford an error. That's Lilly now for the Pittsburgh Stingers. Intervening is Nathan Gibson. 48 seconds left. Gibson now going upfield, trying to create. Broughton into the penalty arch, but Petrus is there to scoop it up. Frantically now, Heinz Pack leads the charge as the Stingers put some fresh legs on. 31 seconds left. Teddy Needling is that fresh pair of legs. Needling gets open, but can't finish the shot. And a foul on Pittsburgh, a free kick for the San Jose Grizzlies. 21 seconds left now. Brown upfield for Lillebois. Lillebois looking to get free. He's got 13 seconds. The ricochet looking for Bruce Broughton. 9 seconds left in the game. Are we going to overtime? It looks that way. All right, folks. 4 quarters in the books, and still no determination of a winner. The San Jose Grizzlies and Pittsburgh Stingers tied at 3. We're heading to sudden death overtime on our Continental Indoor Soccer League Game of the Week on Prime. Come on back. I'm talking to his troops. Their club, the Grizzlies, got down 1-0, but came back strong in the second half. And for the Pittsburgh Stingers, well, I think they found out the Grizzlies team is certainly for real. We look at the overtime situation. 1 sudden death overtime of 10 minutes. Now, if we still can't decide it after that, it gets very exciting. We've actually already seen 2 shootout situations tonight. It's where the offensive player goes one-on-one with the goalkeeper from 50 feet out, and it gives the goalkeeper at least a fighting chance.
Of course, in outdoor soccer, this is a big controversy. You saw the World Cup final go down to penalty kicks, but it's been part of indoor soccer since the outset of the sport, and I think it's one of the most exciting things in any arena sport. The penalty kick shootout that occurs at the end of a sudden death overtime is something to be very excited about.
We saw, of course, in the Olympics with hockey, but and that's the big thing. Unlike the outdoor situation, which I think everybody agrees is not the way to do it, and they've got to change it. The penalty kicks, the goalkeeper really does not have much of a chance. It's more like Russian roulette, whereas here, in a shootout situation, the goalkeeper has a chance to come out and attack the player and defend his goal. We're looking at Dan Madsen. He's done a good job tonight. How about his professional debut, limiting the Pittsburgh Stingers to only 3 goals? Bruce Broughton for the San Jose Grizzlies. Again, it's sudden death overtime. It's San Jose in the dark jerseys, Pittsburgh in the goal. Nathan Gibson looking to end this one early. Peter Cochran trying to run onto the ball, and Pittsburgh right away is back on defense.
Cochran hesitated on that play as Solodovnik got a piece of the ball and went up into the crowd, and that's something that young Cochran is going to have to get over. He's going to have to go in there a little more aggressively. If he did, he might have had a shot.
Good point. Pittsburgh Stingers trying to counterattack. Rich Ryerson racing back for the San Jose Grizzlies. Peter Cochran at midfield. It's often where the game is won or decided. Nathan Gibson was asking for a foul for San Jose, didn't get it, and it's Bruce Broughton on the ball now for the Grizzlies.
And Petrus thought that Gibson touched it with his hand. Of course, like Maradona, probably the hand of God.
That's right, going back to the '86 World Cup. That's a piece of soccer trivia where Maradona used his hand to put one in the goal against England.
Well,
San Jose,
fist, wasn't it?
Yeah, fist, hand, either way. It was something, Maradona's words of God. But anyway, it's San Jose and Pittsburgh here. And they're looking to settle it on the turf.
This has been a great game, Dave. I mean, a lot of action on both sides of the turf. It's good goalkeeping, too.
The Grizzlies, they're trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. Pittsburgh is in a pretty good position in the Eastern Division. And you might argue that San Jose needs this game more, but I think both teams need it. Bernie Lillebois gets free, and he goes down. No call, as back on defense was Bobby Johnston. That's a tough call for the referee to either make or not make in this period. Kenny Pryor loose in the penalty arch. Prescott clears it, looking again for Bernie Lillebois. And again, Bobby Johnston is charged with marking him. Randy Prescott now for the Grizzlies as they restock their arsenal in midfield. 8:04 left in the sudden death overtime.
Don't forget, Dave, Pittsburgh's only lost 2 games all season on the road, 6-2 away from the Civic Arena. So you got to favor them slightly here in the overtime just because of that reason, aside from the fact that they're more experienced on the turf. But still, San Jose's hanging right in there with a spirited performance. Right there, a couple of good chances for Lillebois, and he's getting better and better as the game's gone on.
Pittsburgh and San Jose tied at 3. We're in overtime. Bob Lilly for the Stingers. And it's sudden death overtime, 7:47 left in the 10-minute period as Doug Petras comes out. Now Kia is going to take over the offense. He so often does for the Stingers, but he's under pressure, and now this is where it can get you in trouble if you fool around too much and you're half the midfield or the defensive third, and that's what Pittsburgh's doing right now, and I don't think they should be doing that in overtime. Peter Cochran, I guess my point was well taken because San Jose comes up with the ball.
Absolutely. That's why I didn't say that.
What more could be said? Bruce Grunt.
The magic.
Cleared out by Doug Petras. And Madsen, the rookie goalkeeper. 7:01 left here in the overtime, sudden death overtime. Nathan Gibson looking to turn on Rich Ryerson. Kenny Pryor for the Pittsburgh Stingers. The Stingers, they have numbers moving forward. Pryor trying to get it over to Kia. Pryor takes the shot off the glass above the goal. Bobby Johnston chest traps it down. Tried to leave it for Kenny Pryor, and now Nathan Gibson comes up with it for the Grizzlies. Stingers off for the pressure. The San Jose team, I think, as you pointed out, has improved dramatically just as this game has gone on. Bernie Lillebois gets one touch. He goes down as Troy Fabiano is on the defense for Pittsburgh. Peter Smith now works it upfield. He's got a goal tonight. The Stingers work it around. Smith. 3-3. We're in overtime. Coming out is Madsen to punch it away from Peter Smith.
He's hurt. Madsen's down.
And Smith gets a card for that.
Kia is not happy with the official as he's yelling in that direction, but Madsen is down, and he is not moving at all. Now Chris Spaulding, the Grizzlies trainer, is going to step on, and now he's finally
Peter
coming
Smith
to his feet.
Will go off. As a call made there, and Smith is arguing he can't believe it, as I guess he was arguing it was a 50-50 ball at that point.
Let's take a look at it again here as a little confrontation between Smith and Madsen. They both go up. Nice play there to punch it out for Madsen. He was hurting, it seemed, before he even hit the ground.
I think what happened is we're looking at, again, Troy Fabiano chipping it. Smith positions and an elbow to the gut.
Yep.
So now the San Jose Grizzlies have a power play situation for the next 2 minutes of this sudden death overtime. So they can end it here on the power play.
A blue card to Peter Smith, who's not happy inside the penalty box for Pittsburgh.
Ryerson sends one, and it goes off the chest of a Stinger defender, and it'll be a kick-in coming up for the San Jose Grizzlies. Now, the Grizzlies had a power play opportunity earlier, but they were unable to convert.
And Petras, the goalkeeper for Pittsburgh, doesn't like the way that his team is lackadaisical inside the goal crease. He's trying to urge him on here.
Ryerson to Lillebois. Bernie Lillebois, a slow dribbler. Ryerson right there, and so is Doug Petras, the goalkeeper for Pittsburgh, to smother it.
Ryerson was waiting for that backdoor play. It just didn't quite get there in time, but Petras is probably as relieved as anybody in this building right now.
Pittsburgh now digging in. A minute 25 on the power play. The Stingers play on. Bobby Johnson, they're going after a shorthanded goal. Now he is crunched from behind by Nathan Gibson. And it'll be a free kick coming up for the Stingers.
You got to wonder exactly how Madsen's feeling. He went down a few moments ago in a little confrontation with Smith that drew the penalty. Hasn't faced a shot since that little confrontation, and he may face one shorthanded right here.
All right, Pittsburgh is going to take a timeout. Each team allowed one timeout during the overtime session, and Pittsburgh is elected to take this. So we're going to come back with more drama here at overtime. It's the San Jose Grizzlies 3, the Pittsburgh Stingers 3. We're coming back on Prime. We are tied in overtime. 5:12 left in the overtime period. The sudden death overtime. The Pittsburgh Stingers are shorthanded. 1:18 left on the penalty they have to kill off, but the Stingers have a free kick here. Kia runs onto it, takes it, it's off the goal post. Wes Seacrest stays with it for Pittsburgh. Seacrest really staying with it, and Dan Madsen is able to come up with it for the San Jose Grizzlies. Again, Dan, the reason they take a timeout in a situation like that, set play is such a bonus for the offense.
And to get a rest, too, for the players.
A minute left on the power play. Randy Prescott off the glass, it rattles. Now Kevin Hundell for the San Jose Grizzlies. They're in the dark jerseys. The home team here tonight. 47 seconds on the man advantage in sudden death overtime. Rich Ryerson to Randy Prescott. They're going to work it around. They have 41 seconds to work with on the extra man. Ryerson, the follow-up. Petrus was able to close off the angle but not make the save.
Grizzlies trying to get Lillebois open behind all the defenders. He's open now, calling for it.
Lillebois floating around in the penalty arch. Ryerson, they work it in. It's cleared out neatly and nicely by the Pittsburgh defense with 16 seconds left on the power play for San Jose. Into the arch again it goes, and once again it is cleared out. Now Dan Madsen, with 6 seconds left, Peter Smith will come out of the box, and I don't think they're going to be able to get a power play goal here. In fact, I know they won't. It's teams at even strength. 3:52 left in overtime. We could have a shootout coming up if no one can score in the next 3.5 minutes, roughly.
Usually low-scoring game, 3-3 in overtime. That doesn't happen very often in this league.
But this is the kind of game that makes your palms sweat, because it just takes one. Doug Petrus goes in the air, and Petrus is flattened by Ethan Gibson, and now the Pittsburgh Stingers, they want a penalty. And the Stingers' argument there, Dan, is that, hey, it happened at the other end of the carpet.
Bob Lilly didn't like that one little bit inside the Pittsburgh crease. Paul Child looking on from behind the Pittsburgh bench is wondering the same thing. So play continues with nothing happening in overtime.
San Jose and Pittsburgh tied at 3 in overtime. San Jose gets it out of their defensive third. Bernie Lillebois goes down hard in a collision with Peter Smith, and I think Smith just running away from the referee. He's already had enough trouble. He better... Of course, went off when he collided with Dan Madsen, the goalkeeper, so he doesn't want any more penalties. Look at Bob McNabb, the head coach for the San Jose Grizzlies. This is Bernie Lillebois. He cannot make the turn.
A little nutmeg play there, right through the legs. Grant Schick was victimized.
Pittsburgh. San Jose comes up with it as the Stingers' attack is thwarted. Into overtime here on our Continental Indoor Soccer League Game of the Week on Prime. Our second game of the year. Again, we're going to be with you every week for the next month or so. To September. After the championship series. Lillebois across the penalty arch. Lillebois stays with it. Alberto Cruz can't get a foot on it. And now the Pittsburgh Stingers are going to come cruising. They have a 3-on-1. Kia is wide open. Kenny Pryor gets it to the right. It's in the net. It's in the net. A goal for the Pittsburgh Stingers. Credit Bobby Johnston, I believe, unless Kia got the final foot on it.
I think it's going to be Bobby Johnston, Dave. Excellent play. He had a great game all around, most of it on the defensive side, and here he is in overtime with only 2:33 left in sudden death, and the Pittsburgh Stingers win it 4-3.
The Stingers win it on an overtime goal by, we believe, Bobby Johnston, as you look at the dejection of rookie goalkeeper Dan Madsen.
Madsen can't feel too badly because I'll tell you what, he played a strong game. You notice one of the first people over to take a look at Madsen was the opposing goalkeeper. But now let's take a look at the replay as Pittsburgh moves in. Pryor gets it over to Johnston, and that's definitely his goal.
Yeah,
Kia
that's his goal.
Decoying. I think the Grizzly defense was keying on him to try to get the pass, but Johnston made the most of it as here he is again. Moving down the right side. Take a look. Pryor with the left-footed pass, and Madsen, the goalkeeper, just overcommitting a bit. Very severe angle, Dave, as we take a look at another one.
Good vision on the part of Kenny Pryor, because again, the defense watching Kia, but Pryor gets over to Johnston, and he puts it right in the back of the net, and if he didn't, Kia was right there. The final, the Pittsburgh Stingers defeated the San Jose Grizzlies 4-3. We're back with more to wrap it up here on Prime. Back in San Jose, the Pittsburgh Stingers defeat the San Jose Grizzlies in overtime, 4-3 on our Continental Indoor Soccer League Game of the Week on Prime. Dave Johnson, Dan Rusadowski back here with the hero of the game, Bobby Johnston of the Pittsburgh Stingers. And Bobby, indeed, very dramatic goal. And really, Kenny Pryor, nice pass on his part, the good vision on his part to set up the goal.
Kenny Pryor did a great job. Started off, I knocked the ball off the boards around one of the San Jose players. Looked up, saw Kenny in front of me, gave him the ball. And I saw him running the court. Kia was on his left, and it was just, I had to make up the play, make it up the court. I saw it was a 3-on-1. We're watching it on tape right now. And Kenny's made a great effort. He pulled the defender and just gave me a great ball. Got the keeper coming out, and I had an open net. It was just a great play on Kenny's part.
Bobby, you played a number of overtime games during the course of the year, and of course you've had goals in 4 consecutive ones. What about the fatigue factor in the CISL as these games go into sudden death overtime?
It's getting harder. This is our second overtime game in a row, and you can see it. We weren't as sharp tonight, I don't think. It was a struggle. It was another overtime game, and we're coming. You can feel it in the legs coming down the stretch there in these overtime games.
A good point. The Pittsburgh Stingers right now, you're on a road trip, and there did seem to be a period in the third quarter where you seemed like you lapsed out a little bit, and that's really when San Jose got back in the game.
Right. We just gave a fatigue factor set in the third period. We gave up 2 goals. They went up 3-1. But we've shown that we're a good team. We can come back, and we're just very consistently coming up. We show some lapses at times, but we're a team that's proven we can come back and be in every game that we're playing in.
Bobby, you guys are a great road team, and you seem to specialize, too, in unusual things in indoor soccer. That is the low-scoring game. How do you explain those 2 things?
That's a good question.
One that doesn't have an answer.
It comes up a lot, actually, being a road. We just feel comfortable on the road. We go out there and we battle in each game, and we haven't really put our finger on anything at home yet. Hopefully we can come back home. We got one more game on the road against Anaheim, then we go home for 2 games, and hopefully we can put it together. We've been a road team. I just think we feel more comfortable on the road. It's really nothing at home. It's just something that we just haven't accomplished yet, and I really can't put a finger on anything yet.
Well, one thing you can put a finger on is the playoffs, and that's something at Pittsburgh, if the season were to end today, would be in. How do you feel the excitement is generating around this league about the options for Pittsburgh going into the playoff drive?
Playoffs really aren't, in my mind. We're trying to make it through. Anything can happen. There's only 17 games in the season. There's 28-game season. We can't look too far ahead. Just got to keep it in perspective. Go and just take one game at a time, and hopefully we can go into the playoffs on a good note.
All right, Bobby Johnston, the hero tonight with the overtime goal. Congratulations. Best of luck the rest of the way in the season.
Thank you very much.
All right, Bobby Johnston, the Pittsburgh Stingers. Let's take a look at some of the final stats tonight. Shots on goal. San Jose actually had the advantage in that category at 29-25. In the save department, 20 saves for Doug Petrus as he was called on to make some big ones, Dan.
Boy, was he ever. And I think he was a little nervous near the end of the overtime when San Jose had a couple of close opportunities from the corner, and Petrus was worried about the positioning of his defenders. But our guest here in the post-game, Bobby Johnston, was one of his most steady players defensively. Wouldn't you know it? He's the guy who scores the winning goal.
Bobby Johnston, very good on defense. And, again, that's what you have to be in indoor soccer, is a two-way player. You look at the block situation for San Jose. They had the advantage in blocks, and an example of the fact that they really were, struggling on defense to keep up with the offensive onslaught of the Pittsburgh Stingers and the good opportunities they had.
Well, that's really a great sign for the San Jose Grizzlies, and Bob McNabb knows that the more blocks that he gets, the more offensive chances that he has the opportunity to take advantage of.
That triggers the counterattack, as you pointed out. Again, the final tonight, the Pittsburgh Stingers defeating the San Jose Grizzlies in rather dramatic fashion, 4-3. But I think the Grizzlies have to be heartened by their effort. It was a pretty strong performance on the part of the San Jose Grizzlies.
And let's not forget they get a little rematch at Civic Arena with the Pittsburgh Stingers in about 10 days or so, and that should be awfully exciting for those two teams.
That'll be August 6th. Now, our next match here on Prime, the Continental Indoor Soccer League Game of the Week on Prime. Next week, we are in Houston, Hot Houston, where the Houston Hotshots will be hosting the Sacramento Knights. The Houston Hotshots also dreaming of a playoff appearance in the Continental Indoor Soccer League, and the Sacramento Knights having a great season as well. The Continental Indoor Soccer League on Prime is brought to you by the new Volkswagen Jetta. For Dan Rusadowski, I'm Dave Johnson. Thanks for joining us this week. Again, the final. The Pittsburgh Stingers defeating the San Jose Grizzlies in overtime, 4-3. We'll see you next week.